I love baseball.
Baseball, baseball.
94.5 The Peak presents Wasatch Wasp Baseball on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network. This broadcast is powered by Guild Mortgage, Dairy King, CarQuest Auto Parts, Physical at the Fit Stop, Wasatch Back Flooring, Napa Wasatch Auto Parts, Heber City Point S, Dorius Dental, and Bank of Utah.
Baseball.
The guy on first.
Who?
The first base.
Who?
The guy playing
Who
first.
is on first?
I'm asking you.
Now let's go live to the Diamond for play-by-play coverage of Wasatch Wasp Baseball on 94.5 The Peak.
Good afternoon and welcome to the ballpark. Tyler Barrett here with Tyler Moss live on 94.5 The Peak and HeberValleyRadio.com. Wasatch coming off a big program victory last Thursday, a 4-2 win in extras against Salem Hills. Their first win against the Skyhawks since 2014. Casey Anderson was fantastic on the mound, 7 1/3 innings and only allowed 2 runs. But there's a lot of emotions coming into this one. After not beating a team in that long tie, Wasatch celebrated a little bit on the Salem Hills field. Not inappropriate by any means, but anytime there's celebration happening on your home field and you're a team like Salem Hills that's not used to Wasatch winning, there's some emotions there. And then add on to it that Wasatch made Salem Hills come up on Friday, and in all honesty I think they could have gotten in that game. It cleared up. It would have been nice during the hours of the game. And so on the flip side, Wasatch's a little upset that they didn't get a play on Friday. Now they have 4 games this week. There's just a lot on the plate today for this Wasatch Salem Hills game.
Yeah, Ty, and we should be in for a good one because of all of those reasons. Not to mention, these are just 2 high-quality baseball teams as well. But you're right, there's a little extra fuel to this fire here today between these 2 teams. You've got 2 really passionate, competitive coaches specifically, and teams usually, fire off what their coaches are behaving like, Tyler. And so I'm anxious to see what happens here. It really is an important game for a team like Salem Hills to stay in the hunt. They're only 4-4 in region play right now. They've dropped several games, Ty, in region, and they're on the bottom end here, looking at the bottom end of region play here if they drop this one. Wasatch, on the other hand, if they win this, they put themselves squarely in the hunt for a region title this year with only 2 series left to go. Springville later on this week and then Spanish Fork next week. And if Wasatch can get this one and then have a good series against Springville, Ty, that will set them up to really, if you can win 2 out of 3 against Spanish Fork, you win the Region 9 title. And so this is a big game right here for both of these 2 schools for various reasons. But looking forward to some good baseball, and it's always good when Jackson Bolender gets on the mound for Wasatch.
Yeah, you're listening to the Dairy King pregame show. Dairy King best in state from 2008 to 2021, proudly serving the Heber Valley since 1946. Ty, you've called a lot of games as far as pitching goes, and now seen the Salem Hills team for 2 games, and with Jackson Bolender on the mound. What's the Country and Garden Nursery key today for Jackson Bolender in order to keep this high-powered offense down?
Well, don't get hit by the first pitch. Twice, 2 games in a row, Tyler. Jackson Bolender, the first batter he's faced, has hit a line drive right back up the middle, and it's hit him. He's been fine both times, but it's become kind of a joke. He and I were talking today before the game about, well, just don't get hit by that first batter, Jackson, and you should be okay. But really, this team's going to be aggressive. When they face Jackson, this team like Salem, what I've noticed, Tyler, is they know you're going to get a strike. And a team that knows they're going to get strikes, they're a little bit more aggressive in the box and comfortable and confident. And so where Bolender is usually pretty effective, when you go against a good team, when you know there's a strike throw coming, they're actually more aggressive in the box. So Jackson actually mentioned this to me, and this would be my key as well, is he's got to mix up his pitches consistently from the first pitch. If he starts this game with a curveball, good for him. Get something in Salem Hills' mind that you're not going to be predictable, that you're not going to be just a common pitcher out here. And so I'd like to see him go a little bit of reverse type of process against Salem Hills to keep these aggressive hitters off balance. That'll be kind of my key to the game. What do you have in your mind for a key here, Ty?
Well, it goes into my Gordon Law Group stat, Ty, and Thursday's win was the first win this season where the Wasps did not score at least 8 runs. Going into that game against Salem Hills, 0-8 in games where they've given up 6 or more. And so Wasatch, I think, needs to put some runs on the board, even though you have Bubbles on the mound. He's been great. You do need to get some runs. I'd like to see the top of the lineup produce. Be strong. Make it tough on this staff. Both coaches are not going to want to go deep into their staffs with a 4-game series this week for both of them. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have your Point S Tires fielding lineup after this.
Hi, friend. Are you ready for your next delicious meal? Come to the Dairy King, home of the train, where they're serving the yummiest food to friends and family in the valley. Come in and get a mouth-watering peach shake, peach cobbler shake, or peach raspberry shake. Dairy King, the winner of the Best of State for 18 years. They're celebrating their 75th anniversary. Bring a picture and a memory of being at Dairy King. Proudly serving the Heber Valley for 75 years. The Dairy King, home of the train, is serving deliciousness daily. Stop in today.
Timberline Ace Hardware is your full-line Benjamin Moore paint store. Visit them for your home projects, business-to-business, and contractor needs. And remember to ask about their delivery services. And they're looking for some cashiers. Apply today. And get your Carhartt wear, your cool outdoor clothing, and Wrangler jeans. Timberline Ace Hardware, located west of the Wasatch Wasp football stadium at 737 South Main Street, serving the Heber Valley for over 50 years.
The 50s produced some great sound. That early rock and roll triggered so much emotion for so many. Here's another sound from that era. The dental drill triggers a whole different set of emotions. The sounds, the smells, feeling out of control, whatever keeps you from the dentist at Dorius Dental, we get it. We focus on the little things. Distract yourself with your favorite episode of The Office, or crank up the 80s or 90s and let it take you back to another time. At Dorius Dental, we are sensitive to your needs. We are taking care of the little things so you can move on to more enjoyable things. Located in Gateway Plaza, Heber City.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
KTMP, Heber City, and live sports coverage with Ty and Ty.
The Gordon Law Group is your full-service local law firm practicing in all areas of the law. They take pride in saying, yeah, we do that. Again, your stat of the day, Wasatch 1-6 in games that were decided by 4 runs or less. So hopefully they got over the hump on that close win that they had last Thursday. It's time for our Point S Tires fielding lineup. Think of Point S Tires, your local tire expert. Each Point S Tire is independently owned and operated by someone who lives where you live, and make sure you get the right tire at the right price. Starting on the mound today will be Jackson Bolender. Bolender comes into today 25 innings pitched, a 2.52 ERA, 26 strikeout. The center fielder, senior Vance, and he'll take a strike one as we get the game going. This is the game 3 of this 3-game series between Wasatch and Salem Hills. The game was supposed to be played on Friday. Due to weather, they've rescheduled it for today, which means it's a busy week for us, Ty. We got this one today, Springville tomorrow, and Thursday and Friday. So it's almost a major league schedule this week for the Wasatch baseball boys.
You better rest up that voice.
Yeah,
you got a lot of games going on this week, Tyler, between these ones, but it should be fun baseball. It seems like Springville always puts together good series against Wasatch as well, but yeah, it should be a great weather, great week for ball.
1-2 count. It's going to be another fastball. He's just attacked with the fastball so far today, Ty, with Vance at the plate. Vance has had a decent series. 1 for 3, 2 RBIs, 2 walks in the series. Hitting from the left-hand side. The 2-2 is going to be an off-speed pitch that's fouled off, and we'll reset at 2-2. And if you're Coach Haney, this is you mentioned that Salem likes to get in the box and swing, especially when they got a strike thrower on the mound. I'd expect them probably are going to be a little bit more patient to try to see if they can get Bubs' pitch count up. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's the first physical at the Fit Stop. Strikeout, physical at the Fit Stop, your locally owned and operated physical therapy clinic, serving you from head to toe, including vertigo to sports injury, serving the Heber Valley for over 40 years. Only had to throw 1 off-speed pitch on that at bat as he gets the strikeout. It's going to bring up the DH Richards, also a senior, 348 batting average, 9 RBIs. He's 2 for 4 in this series with 3 RBIs. High and outside for ball 1. UCCU, the spark of the game, is proudly sponsored by UCCU, serving the Heber Valley and from Salt Lake County to Juab County. Local UCCU branch manager Braden Duke and his team love serving the Heber community. Easy in-person online services for all your financial needs. UCCU, love where your bank. Ty, where are you looking for a possible spark of the game today?
I'm on mute over here, Tyler. Excuse me over here. Maybe that's why I can't get any of this audio stuff to work over here right now. For me, the spark is got to come from the bottom of the lineup again. I think you're going to see a pretty good Salem Hills team pitching on the mound, Ty, and you're going to need to produce up and down the lineup. You can't just expect your big dogs to get you at the top of the lineup. And so I'm looking for those bottom 7, 8, 9 hitters to produce.
3-0 pitch is in there for a strike. Brings the count to 3-1 to Richards. He's going to swing at the 3-1. It's going to be a lazy fly ball just out of the reach of Jack Bluth. And we have a single by Richards.
Yeah, it looked like Jack just maybe misread that one off the bat. Tyler kind of came in a little bit, and then that ball floated out a little bit farther beyond his glove. Just a tough read off the bat for Jack. He's been pretty good on the year. In fact, one of the few players with 1,000 fielding percentage, Ty. He's been really, really good over there playing second base defensively.
It's going to bring up the number 3 hitter, senior Fenn, playing shortstop today. 302 batting average, 4 for 6 in this series. He was 4 for 4 in game 2. Has 3 walks in the series as well. No RBIs as he's gotten his hits with nobody on base. Did have 1 run scored in that game last on Thursday. Bubbles goes high for ball one, comes back, swing and a miss for strike one. 1-1 count with the runner on first base.
He's got good velocity right now, Tyler. That fastball got right by Fenn. Remember, Fenn had himself a good day against Casey Anderson. 4 for 4. Really, frankly, he had half of the hits for Salem Hills in that game.
Nice pitch right there by Bolender on the outside corner, called strike two. 1-2 count. Infield shaded a little bit to the oppo side. Couple of looks. Now the 1-2. Swung on and missed. Second strikeout of the inning for Jackson Bolender.
He wasn't even close on that, Tyler. He thought that he was deserving of a curveball there as a three-hitter, and he did not get a curveball on that one. Bolender blew that by. He was swinging as that ball was getting into Stocking's glove.
Switching the lineup from what we've been seeing from the Scott Haney group, D. Griffin Reed's going to now hit in the cleanup spot, 2 for 6 in the series. He's going to check swing foul, first pitch of the at-bat. .238 batting average on the year with 8 RBIs. Looking at the radar gun, around high 80s right now for Jackson Bolender. Again, 2 outs here in the top of the first, no score. 1 single on the board for the Skyhawks, and the runner is still on first base. The 0-1 is a curveball that swung on and missed. Nice curveball there from Jackson Bolender. Now moves count to 0-2.
Jeez, Ty, I got to get this audio working over here. Excuse me. And that's back to the keys to the game that I talked about there. You can see overly aggressive Salem is expecting him to come with strikes. That ball was about 2 feet off the plate, and D. Griffin Reed was swinging no matter what on that pitch. He can exploit that aggressive nature.
Well, the runner goes, but it doesn't matter. It's going to be a fastball right down the pipe, and so back-to-back-to-back Ks. It's a 3-strikeout inning for Jackson Bolender. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base as we move into the bottom half of the first.
You might be used to having someone ask you the question, what is it that you need? I think that's limiting. I'm going to take you through a 6-step process, and it's simply answering questions. And it might not just be home. It might be that you want that fancy new car. It might be that you want trips. It's your list. What is it that you really, really want?
Call Tom Stone at Guild Mortgage in Heber City.
Tom Stone, MLS 257849. Guild Mortgage Company is an equal housing lender. MLS 3274. All loans are subject to underwriter approval. Terms and conditions may apply. Subject to change without notice.
Hi, this is Nicole with Mountain Refined Furnishings and Flooring. And if you didn't know, we've recently partnered with Mattress Warehouse of Utah to bring you the largest selection of mattresses around. The team at Mountain Refined prides themselves on making your home a place where you love to be. We offer a large selection of furnishings, flooring, window treatments, gifts, decor, and so much more. If you haven't been by lately, stop and check it out. You'll be pleasantly surprised. We're located at 480 North Main Street.
Heber City Point S is locally owned and operated by Larry Rhodes and Brad Hyatt. They offer the best brand tires at low prices with extensive knowledge and experience of repair and services with no pressure sales. Only what you need. They've been taking care of cars, trucks, and trailers for over 20 years. No appointment needed, conveniently located, free shuttle service, and free Wi-Fi. Take $5 off your next visit when you tell them 94.5 The Peak sent you over. That's Heber City Point S.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
KTMP, Heber City, and live sports coverage with Ty and Ty.
Wasatch Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine is your rehabilitation specialist. Dedicated to your total recovery from sports injuries, auto injuries, industrial and or commercial injuries. Let Diane Ivey and his team get you back to 100%. No runs in the top of the first as Jackson Bolender strikes out 3. Did give up 1 single in the inning. But a good inning and a good start for Jackson Bolender, landing the fastball. High 80s right now with that fastball. Landed a couple of curveballs as well. We're going to move into the bottom of the first. Crew Erickson, Alex Gutierrez, Chet Wilson up. As let's jump into our Bank of Utah batting lineup. First pitch to to Crew is going to be fouled into the dugout of Wasatch. Your batting lineup today for the Wasps: Crew Erickson batting first, Alex Gutierrez batting second, Chet Wilson batting third, Peyton Swap batting fourth, Jack Bluth will hit in the 5 spot, Kelsen Stocking in the 6 spot, Cole Zimmerman in the 7, Tragan Shaw, and then Carter Bucad. Good velocity here from Miller. Miller, 11 1/3 innings pitched, 3.71 ERA, 15 Ks in 11 1/3, so averaging more than 1 strikeout per inning. And he's up 0-2 right now on Crew Erickson. Into the windup, pitch is delivered, and another fastball that's low. It's a good fastball from the righty. Adjustment around. Vance, who's been playing right field, will be playing center field today, and then Guest, who is actually being DH'd for, will be in right field for the Skyhawks. 0-2 is an off-speed pitch. Good piece of hitting here from Crew up the middle. Good job of getting over to it, but it's not going to be in time as Fenn keeps it in the infield, but the speed of Crew Erickson gets him on base with the infield single.
Yeah, it's his third straight infield single against Salem Hills, Tyler. He had 2 to end that game last Thursday, and Crew's just giving him fits with his speed, putting the ball in play, getting down the line, doing a good job with that.
He's going to bring up Alex Gutierrez, 462 batting average on the year. He's DHing today for Jackson Bolender. Was 1 for 3 in the game on Thursday with 2 runs scored. Probably a bunt opportunity here for Gutierrez. He is going to bunt. It's going to be low and inside. He'll pull back, and that's ball 1. First ball of the game here for for Miller that's on the mound. Chet Wilson on deck for the Wasps. 3 juniors to lead off. Third baseman way in right now. It's going to be another bunt attempt, but another pullback for ball 2. Gutierrez, one of the surprise spots for the Wasps this year. 462 again, batting average, 588 on base. Only has 1 extra base hit and 3 RBIs, but he's taking advantage of his opportunities. Slash here as Crew Erickson takes off at first base. Alex not able to get a piece of it on the slash and run, but it works out as Crew Erickson is in there for a stolen base, and we move the count to 2-1. Good job there from Alex of protecting, but also not getting in the way of the catcher. And now Wasatch has a duck on the pond here in the bottom of the first. Miller sets. Long look at Crew at second base. Now he'll deliver with a high leg kick. Swung on, fouled at Coach Jacobson in the third base coach's box, and we have a 2-2 count. Nobody out here in the bottom of the first. Again, Jackson Bolender strikes out 3 in the top of the first inning. Did give up 1 single, but looking good so far in the ball game. Bolender not in the lineup today. He's being DH'd for Gutierrez. The 2-2. Fastball. It's just chopped off, but it is going to go foul. But the story of the Wasatch lineup starting on Thursday has been battling with 2 strikes, not refusing to go down with a strikeout. I think only 2 strikeouts in that game on Thursday, and they've just done a great job of keeping pitchers' pitch counts up and not going down without a fight.
Yeah, you're right, Tyler. That was the story last Thursday. In fact, in that inning where they really kind of pulled away in the 4th inning, 4 different players for Wasatch. Here's another swipe bag from Crew, Tyler. Wow, he is running aggressive. That's a bold steal.
I think he got lucky on that one, Tyler. That was almost a pitch out, and that would have been an easy. You got a lefty up, a clear path to third base, and D. Griffin Reed just bobbled it.
Well, Crew's now in a pretty good spot, but to finish that thought, 3 different batters went 8+ pitches in 1 inning alone after getting 2 strikes on them. And they just battled and battled and battled, and it really chased Salem, got them into an uncomfortable spot. And it's part of the reason why Wasatch was so hopeful that they would get that game in last Friday, is they really stretched the pitching of Salem Hills in that game. And the weekend, unfortunately, allowed Salem to get a reset. But there's another really good at-bat from Alex Gutierrez.
Yeah, a couple of foul-offs there with 2 strikes, and he earns himself a – Ty, you're having a heck of a time with what's going on.
I'm sorry, Ty. I'm going to have to apologize for this. I finally got this shotgun mic figured out, so it's not just you sounding like you're talking to yourself in a little cardboard box up here. But I got to get the microphone back down there now at this point.
Ball low to Chet Wilson. He comes in, 392 batting average. He's 2 for 5 in the series, had 2 RBIs out of the 4 in the game on Thursday, plus had a run scored in that game. 14 RBIs now on the year and 8 extra base hits. And he's got a runner on third. First and third, nobody out. Swings at this one, another foul ball down at Coach Jacobson. Again, I think this is a pretty good fastball by Miller, the best fastball the Wasatch has seen in this series, and they just seem a little bit behind it. Has a lot of foul balls going down the opposite way.
Yeah, behind it, but not the kind of fastball that looks like they're going to be behind all game, right, Tyler. Right. You know, give them a time or 2 through the lineup, and I think they should be able to be on this timing-wise. Or keep going deep like Gutierrez is, 6 or 7 pitches, and you're going to be just fine if you're the Wasps.
This ball's down in the dirt. D. Griffin Reed handles it fine. Alex Gutierrez goes, and no attempt, and it's going to be second and third with nobody out now with a 2-1 count to Chet Wilson, who, again, has the hot bat for the Wasps with 2 RBIs in the series. Salem Hills is going to go ahead and play normal depth. Shortstop in a little bit. Second baseman playing deep. First baseman even with the bag at first. The 2-1. Fastball swung on and missed. A little up in the zone, moves the count to 2-2.
Yeah, Chet was hunting that one. He just had the timing off a little bit, Tyler. Took a good hack at that.
2-2, Chet Wilson hitting from the left-hand side. These two play together on some travel ball in the summer and fall. Know each other well. Been impressed with Miller. He's got good speed out of the box. He's been on base, probably the most out of any hitter right now for Salem Hills. Has 3 runs scored offensively for Salem. Peyton Swap on deck for the Wasps. 2-2, runners on second and third. Swung on, fouled off into the soccer field on the left-hand side. This day in history, Ty, April 22nd, 2003. Going back there a little ways. Wasatch team traveled to Park City and scored 4 runs in the top of the 4th after falling down 5-2 early on. They came back and won the game 7-6. 2003 team ended up going 12-8 that year. Took second behind the Region 10 schools. This pitch is swung on. It's a 2-2 pitch to center field. Center fielder didn't see it, Ty. He didn't see it. It goes over his head. It's going to go down as a hit, but the center fielder simply didn't see it, and Chet's going to go all the way home, Ty. This is going to be an in-the-park home run, and the center fielder is down out in the outfield. I'm not sure what happened out there, but he is down. The center fielder didn't see the pop-up as all 3 runs come in. It's an in-the-park home run for Chet Wilson, and I'm not sure if his leg got caught underneath the fence or...
Yeah, there's a lot going on. The shortstop sprinting out there, Tyler, to go help him out. That was an intriguing play all the way around. You're right. The center fielder came in, and then he sprinted back to try to get to the fence.
To me, it seemed like he was trying to fake the Wasatch hitters. Like, I don't know where it was, to try to get Alex Gutierrez off a second. But the fact is, he didn't see it.
Well, out there, that warning track, that's in a hairy spot, Tyler. It gets a little bit hilly. It comes down. And sometimes it can get a little soggy out in that area, too, where the center fielder was going. And he clearly slipped trying to get in, and there's concrete at the base where that fence is in. And I don't know if he hit his knee into the concrete sliding in or what, but he is coming up hobbling. And how about that? An inside-the-park home run for a 3-run lead in the first inning on just a blunder by the center fielder.
Yeah, I just didn't see it. And as you look around, it's a nice day. There's really no excuses for it unless you just didn't see it. Well, he obviously didn't see it off the bat. But a tough break. Miller's been playing center field, and it's been a good center field that Miller's played, and he does not get the help on that one as Wasatch takes an early 3-0 lead here in the bottom of the first. There's still nobody out, and it's going to bring up Peyton Swap. Going back to that day in history, Ty, that was a fun team that Wasatch had. Kurt McEwen, remember, went down to play at BYU for some quarterback. Todd Lawton, one of the coaches on the team. Austin Hills, a really good shortstop. Boone Zorad played center field. Danny Lehner, Brandon Willett, a good team. Ended up getting beat out in the
pretty
playoffs.
Good pitcher
Ben
on
Pollock,
that team
that's right.
well.
Yeah.
Nick Chadwick was a younger pitcher on that team. Ty.
Yeah, Ben Pollock, Ross Francis. That was a fun team back in 2003. Carl Hermanson's last year as the head coach before Coach Scholl took over in 2004. Peyton Swap comes up to bat, 362 batting average. He's got 3 RBIs in the series. 9 extra base hits, 6 home runs, 21 RBIs. He's 2 for 5 in the series with the 3-run shot that he had in Game 1 last Tuesday. And he's going to go up 3-0 here after the pause in the action. Center fielder stays out there, so it must have just been a foot stuck out there in the fence. And Peyton Swab now up 3-0. Those runs once again brought to you by Wasatch Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine, your rehabilitation specialist dedicated to your total recovery from sports injuries, auto injuries, industrial and or commercial injuries. Let Dianabi and his team get you back to 100%. Ball 4, and Peyton Swap will trot down the base path, second walk of the inning. So we have single, walk, home run, walk. We're going to bring up Jack Bluth, 375 batting average, 483 on base percentage. He's 1 for 6 in this series. He's going to square to bunt, tries to go down the third base side, goes foul, doesn't get it in fair territory, and will reset.
Yeah, he was hoping to bunt for a hit there, Tyler. He was taking a chance down the line. Third base is expecting it all the way, though. They're playing about 80, maybe 75 feet away right now, looking at the bunt. And the third baseman was on top of that one.
Yeah, we'll see what Coach Jameson tried to do. He tried to slash and run earlier in this inning. Pickoff move over to Swap is not in time and will reset. First pickoff move of the game. Wasatch again leads 3-0. Jackson Bolender now 20, I believe we're up to 19 straight innings without giving up a run in this season. Jack Bluth's going to swear to bunt again, and he pulls back, and that one's going to be in there for a strike. So 0-2 count, nobody out, with the runner on first here in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, and taking that second strike, what that does is now that retreats the third baseman, Tyler. So if you wanted to swing away, which obviously Wasatch didn't, they were calling the bunt there, but now the third baseman's back and he's in more of a regular fielding position as opposed to that pitch before when he was fielding from about 75 feet away.
And Jack's going to wave at the fastball and misses. That's going to be strike 3, first out of the game for Salem Hills. It's going to bring up Kelsen Stocking, 0 for 2 in the series, 276 batting average, 432 on base percentage. Didn't play in the game on Thursday. Craig McPhee got the start at catcher on that one, but he's back in the starting lineup today. And you mentioned, Tyler, off air, the chemistry that Jackson Bolender seems to have with Kelsen Stocking behind the dish.
It's noticeable. There's a noticeable difference, and I know it might sound silly, Tyler, but who you're throwing to as a pitcher and catcher can make a big difference, and Bolender's clearly been better with Kelsen Stocking back there. And that's no knock to Craig McPhee because he caught a great game against Salem Hills last week. Great game. But Kelsen Stocking just he understands Bolender, and Bolender delivers it well to him for some reason.
Third stolen base of the inning as Peyton Swap's going to go on a first pitch curveball that Kelsen Stocking will wave at. Throw not in time, and so another duck on the pond here for the Wasps, who already lead 3-0 after an in-the-park home run by Chet Wilson that cleared the bases. Peyton, not a big lead at second base, now gets a good secondary fastball in there for strike 2.
You know, I can't recall seeing a lot of inside-the-park home runs on this field, Tyler.
I think it might be the first. I think that's the first.
As far as varsity games go, at least, you just don't see a lot of those inside-the-parkers.
Thank goodness for inside in the park home runs.
Yeah, you'd be lost without a home run list, right?
Yeah, I do have one home run due an in the park home run.
That field was a little bigger that you played on over there at the Southfield Parks here for Wasatch.
0-2 pitch is low and outside, moves down to 1-2.
Those were always fun times for listeners that don't know over. You know, it's the softball diamonds now, and teams would come in when Wasatch played over there, and they had the signs up. It'd say 381 down the line, 382 down right field line, and I think 402 to center or something like that. And they say, man, this is a huge field. And then they'd be even more stunned to realize home plate had been moved back 20 feet. And it's actually 400 to left, 401 to right.
Good piece of hitting here from Kelsen Stocking as he's going to swing. Peyton Swap had to pause because it was a line drive. But Kelsen Stocking's going to try to advance on the throw. Not in time. Tried to advance, but a good throw there from D. Griffin Reed. So 2 outs with the runner on third. Good swing there from Kelsen Stocking. That's his first hit of the series. Does not score a run, but it does put a runner on third base for Cole Zimmerman. Cole Zimmerman, 311 batting average, 380 on base percentage, 0 for 3 in this series. Does have 10 RBIs on the year, and he has a chance here with a runner on third with 2 outs. Fastball too low. First ball of the bat. That's 400, 420 up to center, 400 down the lines.
Yeah.
And if you didn't have a quick, and they would mow it with almost a
it was
golf
a
course mow.
It was a fairway.
So that grass wasn't slowing down any of the balls in the gap.
That last play, too bad, Tyler. Kelsen Stocking, that's the right read on a high ball. It's the right time to go. He just didn't have enough edge coming around first base when he took off. And that's a big out. You've got a runner on third, less than 2 outs. Those runs are going to score most often. This makes it now a base hit is really what you're looking at, or a pass ball to get this run in. It's just not as many options to push this run across the board.
Fastball gets the outside corner, moves the count to 1-2. Zimmerman swung at the second pitch. So 1-2 count now with the runner on third, 2 outs. Wasatch again 3, Salem Hills 0. Wasatch got 4. I mean, that ball was hit well to left center field. Like the center field would have a hard time tracking that one down.
They're showing 1 at least, Tyler, on a sac fly on that.
Good job there from D. Griffin Reed blocking a pass ball.
It was up high enough that if he reads it off the bat, that ball's probably caught. It was sailing in the air, but he hit it well. In fact, I was stunned when I saw him coming in. I thought, no, that can't be a shallow ball, is it? And it definitely wasn't. Made it all the way to the fence, left center.
Deuces, 2-2 with the runner on third, 2 outs. Miller, high leg kick, delivers the 2-2. It's a fastball. Cole checks at it. Is he going to call it a strike? No. And it'll move the count to full.
Already 31 pitches in the first inning here for Miller.
Zimmerman battles, moves the count to full. That's a pretty good pitch there for Miller. Miller will come set. Payoff pitch, swung on, a line drive to the second baseman. Second baseman bobbles it. Coburn picks it up, throws it to first. Not in time. Zimmerman gets a RBI on the air by the second baseman, and Wasatch takes a 4-0 lead.
Yeah, that's fortunate play there, Tyler Coburn. He's kind of had a tough couple innings in the series. Game 2, he made the error that was a deciding error that ended up giving Wasatch the go-ahead run, and that one there should have been another easy one. Couldn't handle it, gets another run across the board.
Yeah, 4-0 now here, and it's going to bring up Tragan Shaw, 375 batting average, 1 for 5 in this series with a strikeout. Cole Zimmerman, a good lead over at first base. High leg kick, delivers inside for ball 1.
Well, it's just more pitches, besides the run that comes across. Now you're looking at just 3, 4, maybe 5 more pitches at least in an inning for Miller. He'll be pushing 40 pitches by the end of this inning, even if things go well here against Tragan Shaw.
Well, and again, with Haney having to play Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, he's not going to want to go into that bullpen too soon. This pitch is going to be swung on and goes off the foot of Tragan. I guess there's 2 modes of thought here, Ty, is if Miller's sore or if he gets up there, you can go ahead and pull him early so he can come back sooner, right, and he'll be ready for Thursday. And then you see where you go from there because you still have 3 games after this one. Wasatch is in an okay spot. Bolender pitches today. He should be able to come back on Friday with enough days rest that he should be fine in that Game 3 of the Spring Bus Series.
I'll tell you what, though, if I'm Wasatch, you get greedy. You try to tack on a few runs each inning here at this point. 4 is a good starting point, and you think maybe we can get this thing done in 5 and return a 10-run favor as Salem's done twice to them this year. Wasatch would love to do that back to Salem in this one.
1-1, swung on and missed. Looking at the radar done, Ty, again, high 80s, and he's even hit 90 a couple of times in the inning. So 2 good fastballs on the mound here from Miller and Bolender. 1-2 count now. With 2 outs, runner on first is Cole Zimmerman, Carter Bucad on deck. Wasatch has had 8 plate appearances in the inning. High leg kick, the 1-2, fouled off. Good job there as Wasatch continues to battle with 2 strikes.
That's been the story of the series, hasn't it? 2 strikes. They have been battling hard. We don't have this number, but it'd be interesting to go back and track how many foul balls this team has with 2 strikes in this series.
Well, reset at 1-2 with the runner on second. Again, Wasatch has pushed 4 runs across here in the bottom of the first.
That's so frustrating as a pitcher, too, Ty. When you get to 1-2, 0-2, 2-2, you're in put out territory, and they're just struggling. There's another one there. Tragan fouls off another good breaking pitch, and you're just throwing everything you can as a pitcher at them, and you can't put them away. And the team eventually gets to you. That's what happens. If you see enough pitches, the hitters usually win out in that battle.
We reset with 1-2 after another foul ball. Miller comes set, another high leg kick, delivers. This one's another fastball, but it's once again fouled out. Gravity Coalition offering the best in bikes, skis, snowboards, skateboards, and more in the Heber Valley. Personalized service, sales, and repair for the gear you love. Gravity Coalition in Midway, Utah, or gravitycoalition.com. This is a cool shop. It's going to bring up the 7th pitch of the at-bat. Pickoff move over to Zimmerman, gets back in time, and we'll reset. 5 extra base hits on the year for Tragan. Had a double and a triple in Game 2 of the series against Provo. 1-2 pitch is delivered. This one's going to be spiked. It's going to get away from D. Griffin Reed, and Cole Zimmerman will easily advance to second base. So once again, another duck on the pond for the Wasatch offense here in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, that wild pitch there, giving away another free bag. And again, Ty, let's see if 3 straight foul balls spoils this. Tragan can find a way to get a ball in there. That just battle has now got you a runner in scoring position.
Pretty good lead by Cole at second base. He's got the shortstop right behind him. Miller is going to step off. So he was taking his time getting that sign. Tragan Shaw asked for a timeout. It's deuces, 2 outs, and a runner on second base here in the bottom of the first.
Well, I'll tell you what, I know we said they could have played on Friday, but a little bit better weather for baseball here
Far
today,
better.
isn't it?
Far better.
We were pushing, 38, 39 degrees on Friday.
Fastball inside for ball 3, moves the count to full. Yeah, a slight breeze. Looks like it's blowing a little bit to the left field side. But, yeah, this is a pretty day. Clear day, beautiful Timpanogos out in right center.
This will be the 9th pitch of the at-bat for Tragan Shaw.
Full count. Cole Zimmerman, a good lead at second. The payoff pitch. Swung on. It goes to left center field. Left center field coming up on it and makes the grab. Good play there by the left fielder. The Wasatch has themselves a good inning, scoring 4 runs on 3 hits, 1 error by the Salem Hill Skyhawks. 1 is left on base. It's 4-0 here on 94.5 The Peak.
Gucci Goo Barbecue in Heber Valley is a premier barbecue restaurant. You can choose from finger-licking ribs, poppin' andouille sausage, tasty chicken, tender brisket, delicious pork, and yummy street tacos. Friday night dates, take that significant other for the smoked prime rib that melts in your mouth. Family-friendly atmosphere where everyone is welcome, quick service for dine-in or takeout, great quality food, and great value for your money. That's Gucci Goo in Midway on Main Street.
Dan Sluga at Wasatch Flooring is extending his services to include quality paint products to complete your home remodeling needs. Locally owned and operated, Dan and his team can help you find the right flooring for your home with quality products from Mohawk, Shaw, Target, Godfrey Hirst, and many more. Since 2009, they've been exceeding their customers' needs by helping them select flooring that fits both their lifestyle and budget. They've got you covered at Wasatch Flooring and Paint.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
KTMP, Heber City, and live sports coverage with Ty and Ty.
Wasatch Flooring and Paint, from the words of their customers, from start to finish, the entire transaction was honest, professional, and meticulous. Highly recommend Wasatch Flooring and Paint. Thanks, Dan and your team. Brings us to the top of the second. Wasatch scores 4 in the bottom of the first to take the 4-0 lead on the Skyhawks. Coming up for the Salem Hill Skyhawks will be the third baseman, Junior Cushing. 433 batting average on the year. Hasn't done much against the Wasps. 0 for 4 in the series. Did walk 4 times and has a run scored. Swings and misses at the first pitch changeup there from Jackson Bolender, so mixes it up a little bit to start the second. Wasatch shaded to the right-hand side. Another curveball that's in there for a strike. Moves the count to 0-2. Well, that's a good start to this inning. He lands a changeup for a swing and a miss, and then lands a curveball for a strike, and he's up 0-2. Saw a lot of fastballs in the first inning. Goes off speed here. Fastball outside corner. Doesn't get it. Testing that outside corner. Doesn't get that call. Moves the count to 1-2. 1-2 pitch. Delivered high and inside for ball 2. A couple of updates going around the Wasatch other sports that are happening. The softball team has improved to 12-5 on the year and 4-2 in region play. They beat Maple Mountain 9-5 on Thursday last week. Nice off-speed pitch there is caught. And that's strikeout number 4. Jackson Bolender not wanting to share the wealth in this one. 4 outs, 4 strikeouts. I was supposed to be doing the score, and I'm just sitting here talking to myself.
I gave you one job while I was away, Tyler.
What's funny about that is I even offered. I said, hey, how can I help you? And you're like, here, take the iPad for a second.
Well, you're fired. I'm back over here. I'll get this taken care of. I think that's a 5-pitch strikeout. Is that right?
5-pitch strikeout, yes. First pitch is going to be swung on. It's going to be a ground ball to Cole Zimmerman. Unassisted as he'll step on the bag as finally Salem puts a ball in play. It's going to be ground out to Cole.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm getting my steps in, and you can't look away for too long, Tyler. Jackson Bolender is going to have this inning over with in just a few pitches if you're not paying attention here.
That last batter was Coburn. It's going to bring up now the pitcher, Miller, 2 for 6 in the series with an RBI, 3 runs scored. Hitting .324 overall. He's going to take strike 1. Second pitch is going to be a ground ball to the third baseman. Chet makes a good read, throws it across the diamond. Cole Zimmerman stretches, makes the play. It's a 1-2-3 inning. Physical at the Fit Stop, locally owned and operated, serving you from head to toe, including vertigo to sports injuries. No runs on no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. Up for the Wasp, Bucad, Erickson, and Gutierrez in the bottom of the second.
Wasatch Back Grill and Deli is a family-owned and operated business serving great food and customer service in Heber City and Midway for over 7 years. For a burger with kick, try the Firehouse. Have a hankering for some seafood? Try fish and chips. Or try the Mandarin chicken salad. Their homemade recipes, freshly grilled burgers and sandwiches are complemented with unique sauces and homemade sides. They provide the best experience and highest quality food. Stop by today and try their great menu items. As a thank you to teachers, first responders, medical personnel, and military, get 15% off meals all year round.
Hi, this is Abby Covarrubias, the Wasatch High School Student Body President. Did you know that parents are the #1 reason kids don't drink? Believe it or not, teens still listen to their parents. In fact, kids usually listen to their parents more than anyone else, including their friends. Utah kids report the #1 reason they choose not to drink is their parents' strong disapproval. All kids need a parent's help to stay drug and alcohol free. Brought to you by Wasatch Behavioral Health and the Parent Bonding Project.
This is live coverage of Wasatch High School sports on 94.5 The Peak.
Bottom of the second inning, Wasatch is leading Salem Hills 4-0. Second inning action brought to you by Physical at the Fifth Stop, your locally owned and operated physical therapy clinic serving you from head to toe, including vertigo to sports injuries, serving the Heber Valley for over 40 years.
Yeah, this is a game, Ty, where I wish we had Ks that we could put out here, because 4 Ks through 2 innings right now for Jackson Bolender. 2 scoreless innings as Wasatch leads 4-0 coming into the bottom of the second. On the mound now for Salem Hills is Wilson. Only 1 inning pitched on the year. Gave up a run in that inning. Senior for Salem Hills also has a strikeout and a walk. Starting pitcher Miller is going to go to center field. Vance will go over to right field, so they're now DHing for Wilson that's on the mound. Ball 1 to Carter Bucad, who's in the box. Bucad will now take strike 1. Bucad on the year, 196 batting average, 7 RBIs, 0 for 4 in this series. Although had 2 good barrels in the game 2 on Thursday, just right at guys. Currently sits at 1-1. This pitch also in there for a strike, moves the count to 1-2.
Yeah, Carter this year has kind of come in waves. Tyler hasn't he? Started off really cold at the beginning of the season, and then got really hot in the first couple games in region play, and now he's cooled off a little bit, so he's due for a hot streak here.
1-2 pitch is going to be swung on. It was way outside. Bucad just trying to protect the plate. It's going to be fielded and stepped on the bag by the first baseman, Nilsson. And the first batter is retired here in the bottom of the second. Going back to my softball, tie, Paige Armendariz had the win on the mound and 2 doubles and 2 RBIs at the plate. Kendall Purdy had 2 RBIs and a triple in that game. The ladies are now number 4 in the RPI standings. They're going to host Springville tomorrow. This is going to be a good day tomorrow at the ballpark. You have Springville here against baseball and Springville against softball over behind us. And both games are at home. Springville, one of the top 5 teams in the state, as this Region 9 is just loaded. And Springville has revenge on their mind as they're going to try to knock off Wasatch after Wasatch got the best of them.
Yeah, and hopefully some people come out and support. Yeah. It's always really fun when you get good crowds out here to watch both of these teams.
Curveball is going to be tried to drag bunt down the third base side, goes foul. Crew Erickson singled up the middle, and third infield single of the series for Crew Erickson. Showing off the speed, had a good at bat with 2 strikes and put the ball in play up the middle and then was able to beat it out.
And then he swiped a couple bags on top of it, Tyler. Just stole second base and third base.
Curveball's going to bounce. For a ball.
Cruz had such a good year, Tyler, and he's shown a lot of tools out there. He's played a great defensive left field. In fact, one of only a few players, I already highlighted Jack Bluth, no error on the year. Crew Erickson also one of the few players who doesn't have a single error on the season. He's been good out there, but his bat has been really good. He's hit it to every part of the field, Ty, and he's done it with infield hits and speed, and he's done it with power into the outfield. A lot of triples to go on the season, not to mention these infield hits.
Yeah, and a good team at bat there, Ty. He gets a curveball that's inside and takes it off the shoulder. So he's the second time reaching base for Crew Erickson. He's hitting .411 on the year and another base runner. I mean, you already mentioned the dangerousness of his speed on the base pass already with 2 stolen bases today. It's going to bring up Alex Gutierrez, who walked his first at bat. A good quality walk, had 2 strikes on him, fouled off a couple of pitches, and eventually earned the walk. 1 out here in the bottom of the second. On the mound again for Salem Hills, already in the bullpen, is Wilson. Starting pitcher Miller gives up 4 in the bottom of the first. Both teams have 4 games this week, and so Scott deciding to preserve Miller's arm a little bit, puts him back out in the center field. Alex is going to take ball 1 to start off this at bat. We mentioned it last Friday, Ty, but wanted to bring it up again. Speaking of revenge, the soccer team traveled down to Provo last week. That's their only region loss, and it was a good one, Ty. 2-2 after the end of regulation. Neither team score in both overtimes, and then they go to a shootout, which usually I didn't think that happened in the regular season, but they go to a shootout, and Wasatch ultimately ends up beating Provo 3-1 in the shootout. A couple of pickoff moves over to Crew. But that win moves Wasatch to 9-2 overall, 5-1 in region play, so they're right back in the lead of the Region 9 standings with Provo. Both teams are 5-1 for that Region 9 title. And Coach Henry's doing it again, Ty. He's reloading and doing a good job with this team. Hit and run opportunity here that goes foul.
Yeah, it's Provo's only loss, Tyler, and obviously you pointed out Wasatch's only lost to Provo, and This team's been at the top of the mountain for the last several years, really dating back to 2018, Tyler. They were very competitive even the year before COVID happened. And in fact, that game, I'll just never get out of my mind. I'm sure those players are the same way. Lost to Olympus in semifinals, but had so many shots on the goal in the last 15 minutes or so of regulation. And they just couldn't get one to hit the back of the net, unfortunately. But that Wasatch soccer team rebounded. You know, COVID year was then off the next year. Then they won the state title last year, and right out there in the hunt again now, Ty.
1-1 pitch is low and outside for ball 2. Got a runner on first with Alex Gutierrez. Walked his first at bat. Came into today hitting .462 on the year. Taking this time to get the sign. Long look over at Crew. Wilson comes set, delivers the 2-1. It's high and outside for ball 3.
Gutierrez has just been a pest to pitchers in the box, hasn't he? He just is not an easy out all season long. He hasn't been a consistent guy in the lineup until really about the last week. He's been more consistently in here, Tyler. But his hits aren't necessarily eye-popping, but every at-bat it seems like he's going 5-6 pitches deep.
Another steal attempt here as Alex Gutierrez is going to swing at ball 4. Miss it. When you have a 3-1, you don't have to protect the batter. and so he swings at one that's outside of the batter's box. But Crew does advance.
Doesn't it highlight, though, like the mindset is team at bat? I mean,
well, take
it's
a
silly.
walk, you know.
Well, I know, but as silly as that is there, it's team at bat. Alex is thinking, I'm going to do what I can to help my guy get over. But you're right. There's some stuff you can coach up after that, Tyler. But this team's bought into the team philosophy.
It's going to bring up a full count pitch. The payoff pitch swung on and fouled once again into the soccer field. Coach Henry's having a heck of a time over there trying to run practice with baseballs flying at him.
Hey, how about we run another 7+ pitch at bat here for Alex Gutierrez, though?
Wind's blowing out a little bit to left field. Alex Gutierrez hitting from the left-hand side. Again, taking his time. Crew, not a big lead at second base. Has the shortstop right behind him. Thinks about going, now steps off the mound. Almost a balk there, Ty, as he flinched a little bit, but decides to step off, and we'll reset.
If you're just joining us, quick Dorius down on scoreboard update. Wasatch is leading 4-0 in the bottom of the second inning, in large part to a Chet Wilson inside the park 3-run home run in the bottom of the first inning.
Payoff pitch, swung on, once again fouled off into the soccer field. Give a shout out to the boys lacrosse team, Ty. They dominated their first region game of the season, 17-2 over Salem Hills. That win stopped a 5-game skid. They're now 3-6 on the year. Owen Moore, Ethan Erker, and Cole Lent all had 3 goals in the victory. 3 looks, now pays the payoff, and another foul ball into the soccer field. 3 balls over into the soccer field here for Alex Gutierrez.
Pitch 9 now of the at-bat.
The soccer team is down at Spanish Fork tomorrow, so a lot of action tomorrow. Both Springville softball and baseball will be here. Soccer will be down at Spanish Fork tomorrow, and then Maple Mountain comes up here on Wednesday to take on the boys lacrosse team. Payoff pitch. Crew, Erickson goes. It's swung on, and guess where it's going to go? The soccer field.
I'll tell you what, if Alex were in a big league park, he'd be handing out souvenirs left and right, Tyler. He's fouling balls out. He's probably that's got to be close to 8 to 9 foul balls out of the park already in this game from Alex. And they're all on the Salem Hills side. You know, those kids are the ones that are having to go chase that. So extra points for Alex there, sending the opposing team out after him.
What pitch of the at-bat are we at, Ty?
This is pitch number 9.
Number 9. Pitch number 9 of the at-bat for Gutierrez, who walked in his first at-bat. He's got a duck on the pond with Crew Erickson at second base, who already has 1 run scored in the ball game. That's the 3rd run of the series for Crew. Payoff pitch again. It's fouled off. This one's a little closer, Ty, but it's still going to make it over to the boys soccer field.
Still out into the left field, stadium bleacher section now.
Well, what you're seeing from Wilson, Ty, is not an overwhelming fastball, right? And so you go with Miller, who is throwing high 80s, low 90s, and he just doesn't have a fastball that's thrown it by Gutierrez. And Gutierrez has been able to foul off the close ones. 11th pitch of the bat, the payoff. Curveball, that's going to be a base knock to the left-hand side. Good piece of hitting there from Alex Gutierrez. The ball's going to go underneath the left fielder's glove. Alex is going to try to get to second base, and he will. So it's going to be a RBI single for Alex Gutierrez, and then an error by the left fielder advances Gutierrez to second base. And Ty, man, just the body language, this isn't a normal team we've seen out here from the Salem Hills side.
No, it seems like Wasatch took their soul last Thursday when they snatched that game in extra innings. They have not played clean already. 2 errors in the game, and really should be 3. that inside the park home run won't count as an error, but the center fielder came charging in on a ball that was way over his head. It got over him and ended up being an inside the park home run. Wasatch now leading 5-0 and another runner in scoring position. But Ty, I want to give that hit partly to Crew Erickson because he's been such a menace on second base and finding a way to get to second. The shortstop has been crashing over to hold the runner on. Alex was a lefty up, and that line drive is right where your shortstop normally would be playing. If you had a right-handed hitter up or not even a runner on first base, he's probably able to get over to that because that was a soft line drive. But because Crew was on second, the shortstop vacated about 20 feet over to the glove side and became an easy base hit for Alex.
It's going to bring up Chet Wilson. You mentioned it, Ty, and in the park home run. He's going to swing at the 1-0, a little low, and he'll put it into the the soccer field. That's now 9 extra base hits on the year for Chet Wilson. His first home run, 17 RBIs. He now has 5 RBIs in this series alone. Having himself a good series. 3 for 6, hitting .500, 2 runs scored. Currently hitting 1-1. Has scooted up in the box again with the lesser fastball now on the mound for the Skyhawks. Gutierrez, a decent lead at at second base. Swung on and missed there from Chet. Moves count to 1-2. Peyton Swap on deck for the Wasps. Walked in his first at bat. I got a feeling about Peyton today, just so you know, Ty.
Yeah, you want to call his shot.
I got a feeling.
He came through for me at Provo, right? Set
Yep,
2 home runs for the team, and he took care of both of them himself.
1-2 pitch is going to be fouled off. Salem has a guy actually over in the soccer field right now who's just waiting for balls to go out there. He never made it back to the dugout. He's just waiting out there for foul balls. Oh, great pick, though, right there by the short hop by the catcher.
The bullpen catcher that's outfielding foul balls, not the catcher in the game.
No. 1-2 count, guy on second. Chet's going to call time. A little bit of a miscommunication between the pitcher and catcher.
This is a stat I didn't know we needed to track today, Tyler, but maybe we need to start tracking it. The foul balls by Wasatch already in this inning. I mean, we can go back and look at it in the book if we really want to get detailed. Maybe we'll do that at the break. But this team has fouled off a lot of pitches from Salem.
1-2 off-speed pitch.
Hey, what do you know?
Guess where it went.
It's like watching deja vu.
Give a shout out to the girls soccer team. They did play. Girls lacrosse could play on Friday, but the baseball team couldn't, according to the umpires. But they get a win. Moves their record to, 5 and I think they're 4-6 now on the year. 1-2 as we reset with 1 out. Pitch swung on and missed as Chet Wilson goes down swinging in his second at bat of the game. It's going to bring up Peyton Swap with 2 outs. Again, Swap walked in his first at bat. 3 RBIs in the series for Peyton. And he's got an opportunity here with the guy on second base. We mentioned girls golf on Thursday. Ty, I was able to get the individual scores. Ellie Olson at 83 in that tournament last Thursday at their home course up at Wasatch Mountain. She led the Wasps. I'm not sure I'd give Peyton a pitch on this one, to be honest, Ty. With the base open, you're down 5, take a risk here. Fastball gets the outside corner, unless you're going to hit that spot.
That's a good spot.
Unless you're going to hit that spot, go ahead and throw it to him.
Down and away, that's on the black edge on the outer half. Peyton's going to have a hard time pulling that one to the left side out of the park.
Yep. More scores from that girls golf tournament, Ty. You had Sydney Benyon, who shot a 93, good enough for second place. Fastball too far inside, moves the count to 1-1. They beat Spanish Fork by a total of 17 strokes, Ty, in that tournament. So really won that tournament going away at their home course.
Yeah, they've got a chance to go win region, Tyler. The girls golf team at Wasatch has been very good this year. Got some great players. Ty did go back and count up the foul balls to this point.
1-1. He's going to try to go the opposite way, but it's now over into the freshman soccer field. So a little bit different action we got going on.
Peyton's going to spread the love a little bit. Wasatch players don't know how to jump on that as fast as the Salem Hills one. Still waiting on Wasatch to jump out on that.
Anyway.
I want to ask you, what would be your guess at this point on foul balls from Wasatch on Salem Hills? Remember, we're only in the bottom of the
16?
second inning.
I'll go 16.
20. That was 20 right there. 20 foul balls from Wasatch.
The 1-2 now with 2 outs. 3 looks, delivers the 1-2, and swung and missed. We don't see that. Chet Wilson and Peyton Swap both go down swinging. Wasatch does get 1 run on 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 left on base as they lead 5-0 here on 94.5 The Peak.
Napa know how.
Your local Napa Auto Parts, Wasatch Auto Parts at 105 North Main Street in Heber City stocks auto parts, tools and equipment, and many other items for heavy-duty trucks, marine, and farming equipment. Stop in today at Wasatch Auto Parts, 105 North Main Street in Heber City, a proud sponsor of Wasatch Wasps Sports.
Friend, are you ready for your next delicious meal? Come to the Dairy King, home of the train, where they're serving the yummiest food to friends and family in the valley. Come in and get a mouth-watering peach shake, peach cobbler shake, or peach raspberry shake. Dairy King, the winner of the Best of State for 18 years. They're celebrating their 75th anniversary. Bring a picture and a memory of being at Dairy King. Proudly serving the Heber Valley for 75 years. The Dairy King, home of the train, is serving deliciousness daily. Stop in today.
Timberline Ace Hardware is your full-line Benjamin Moore paint store. Visit them for your home projects, business-to-business, and contractor needs. And remember to ask about their delivery services. And they're looking for some cashiers. Apply today. And get your Carhartt wear, your cool outdoor clothing, and Wrangler jeans. Timberline Ace Hardware, located west of the Wasatch Wasp football stadium at 737 South Main Street, serving the Heber Valley for over 50 years.
5, 4, 3, 2.
KTMP, Heber City, and live sports coverage with Ty and Ty.
Third inning action brought to you by Wasatch Napa Auto Parts. Your local Napa stocks auto parts, tools, and equipment, and many other items for heavy-duty trucks, marine, and farming equipment. Stop in today. Jackson Bolender, 2 innings pitched, no runs, 1 hit, 4 Ks. Wasatch leads 5-0 after scoring 4 runs in the top of the first, thanks to a 3-run in the park home run by Chet Wilson, and then an RBI single by Alex Gutierrez in the bottom half of the second. Fastball swung on and missed here by the left fielder Hickman. 2 for 6, 4 RBIs, leads Salem Hills with 4 RBIs in the series. Swung on and missed there. Comes back with a fastball right down the middle for 0-2. Bubbles has looked good. Ever since giving up 3 runs to Lone Peak in the top of the first, he has been perfect, and he gets the outside corner there. Another physical at the pit stop, strikeout. That one looking. 5 strikeouts now for Jackson Bolender. That one on 3 pitches.
Well, I don't want to jinx him, Tyler, but this is maybe the best we've seen him. There's only one other game that really comes to my mind where he's this crisp, and it was his junior year, Desert Hills. I believe that was the opener. He was just so good. Struck out 12 in 5 innings.
Pitch is swung on. It's going to be a ground ball to Chet Wilson. Throws it a little bit up the first baseline. Cole Zimmerman does a good job of making the play. And 2 are retired here as we go back to the top of the order. That was the first baseman Nelson with the ground out. And it's going to bring up Vance, who struck out in his first at-bat.
But I guess just the crispness of the fastball is excellent for Jackson here. And then the breaking pitches, he's got both the changeup and curveball working well.
It's going to be a swung on off speed pitch deep to right center field. That ball is not going to be caught. It's off the base of the wall. Easy double, maybe a chance at a triple here. He's going to slow up and go to second. That ball was tattooed, hit off the bottom of the wall in the deepest part of the field.
Well, you're at the top of the lineup, right? And Vance he's a good hitter. We've seen him do that now in 4 different games this year where he's jumped on that same type of pitch, Tyler, and it's usually in his second or third at bat, and it's the first pitch of the at bat. He jumps on it. So again, the scouting report would be, let's go breaking pitch there. Let's throw something off the outer half of the plate and try to get him a little bit away, because he did that in that first game at Snow Canyon. And then we saw him do it earlier last week as well.
Well, Salem Hills threatening here in the top of the 3rd inning. Swung on and missed there, not close to that fastball. Richards did have a single up the middle in his first at bat, and he's got a runner on second for an RBI opportunity here. 9 RBIs on the year. He has 3 RBIs in this series, 2 for 5 at the plate. 3 for 5, hitting 600 in the series. 2 looks from Bubbles, delivers. Curveball, too low, moves down to 1-1. Pretty good pitch there from Jackson. Jackson thought he had that one, just a little bit below the knees. Your infield today, again, Cole Zimmerman at first, Jack Bluth at second, Carter Bucad at short, and Chet Wilson at third. Chet with already a couple of putouts. Pitch swung on, fouled off into the soccer field, moves the count to 1-2.
All right, now you go for your best pitch here, the put-out pitch. Already has 1 strikeout here in the ball game against Richards. And I probably in this situation, I still like a fastball coming back, maybe on the inner half, on the hands, maybe 6 inches inside.
Tried to go outside with the fastball. Kelsen liked the spot, didn't get him to chase. Richards thought about it. It's going to move the count to deuces with 2 outs.
Yeah, it's not a bad spot, too. High and outside is where he went, Tyler. Kind of assuming the hands can't catch up to that one.
2-2, 2 outs, runner on second. Salem Hills looking for their first run of the game. Change up, swung on, fouled off to the first base side. We will reset at 2-2.
That's a good job there. Jackson's changing eye level, same speed, but the prior pitch, Tyler, he went outside high, and then he came down hard and inside. And again, what you're doing is you're changing the hitter's eye levels on that previous pitch, maybe getting them to lean over on the outer half a tiny bit. And then on the next one, trying to hit them hard on the inside, getting them leaning over the outer half. Couldn't quite get that one to the spot he wanted, though.
We'll reset at deuces with the runner on second. Richards up at the plate, Bolender on the mound. Bolender, couple of looks, make it 3 looks, and delivers the 2-2, swung on, fouled off down the left side.
3 straight fastballs here for Richards. You can see Bolender likes that matchup as well, Tyler, that I was just mentioning with the fastball. But now that you've seen 3 in a row, might not be a bad time to pull the string on a changeup. See if you can get something tumbling down and away. Or you could always go, a pitch that we really liked to do with Jackson last year, and they haven't done it this year at all. I haven't seen the shakes, but sometimes we'd put down dummy shakes and get the hitter thinking that you're going to off-speed pitches by shaking once or twice and then come back with a fastball there as well. He got a lot of strikeouts on that last year.
Goes no look, 2-2. This one's smoked to left center field. Payne swap is back. Can't get it. It's going to be a ground rule double. Richards is heading to third base, but the ball bounces over so back-to-back doubles by the Salem Hills 1 and 2 hitters, and Salem Hills is on the board 5-1. After the first 2 outs of the inning, Salem Hills showing some fight here with a double to right center and a double to left center.
Pate made a good run at that, Tyler. Tracked that ball well, was on a full sprint. It's to his backhand side. It was a tough play. Jumped for it at the end, but just couldn't get it in. It went probably about 2 or 3 inches over his glove, it looked like. Took a high hop out there as well.
It's going to bring up the number 3 hitter, the shortstop, Fenn. Again, was 4 for 4 in the game on Thursday. Struck out in his first at bat today. Salem again on the board, first run of the game, and they've got another one on second base. Change up, gets him to swing and a miss. Good pitch there from Bubbles, and we have an 0-1 count. Richards 2 for 2 now in the ball game. Had a single up the middle and then that double to the left center field gap. No look pitch here, low and outside for ball 1.
Yeah, excuse me, I think I said earlier that he struck him out on that. That was that one that floated over Bluth, wasn't it? And then he struck out the next 2 hitters.
Bubble sets. Both Jack and Bucad playing with the runner at second base. Swung on. It's going to be a ground ball to the shortstop. Bucad fields it clean, throws it across the diamond, and Wasatch is out of the inning. Salem does score 1 on 2 hits, no errors. 1 is left on base as Wasatch leads 5-1 going into the bottom of the 3rd.
The 50s produced some great sound. That early rock and roll triggered so much emotion for so many. Here's another sound from that era. The dental drill triggers a whole different set of emotions. The sounds, the smells, feeling out of control, whatever keeps you from the dentist at Dorius Dental, we get it. We focus on the little things. Distract yourself with your favorite episode of The Office, or crank up the 80s or 90s and let it take you back to another time. At Dorius Dental, we are sensitive to your needs. We are taking care of the little things so you can move on to more enjoyable things. Located in Gateway Plaza, Heber City.
You might be used to having someone ask you the question, what is it that you need? I think that's limiting. I'm going to take you through a 6-step process, and it's simply answering questions. And it might not just be home. It might be that you want that fancy new car. It might be that you want trips. It's your list. What is it that you really, really want?
Call Tom Stone at Guild Mortgage in Heber City.
Tom Stone, MLS 257849. Guild Mortgage Company is an equal housing lender. MLS 3274. All loans are subject to underwriter approval. Terms and conditions may apply. Subject to change without notice. And now, back to the action. Wasatch High School Sports on 94.5 The Peak.
Gravity Coalition offering the best in bikes, skis, snowboards, skateboards, and more in Heber Valley. Personalized service, sales, and repair for the gear that you love. Gravity Coalition in Midway, Utah, or gravitycoalition.com. This is a cool shot.
Up for the Wasps in the bottom of the third, Jack Bluth, Kelsen Stocking, Cole Zimmerman. Bluth struck out swinging in his first at bat after a couple of bunt attempts. He's now 1 for 7 in the series. 375 batting average, 4 extra base hits on the year, including a home run. 12 RBIs. See if he can get things going here. For the Wasps in the bottom of the third, Wasatch scored 4 thanks to a 3-run home run by Chet Wilson and an RBI single Cole Zimmerman had a RBI on an error by the second baseman. Fastball in there for a strike to Jack Bluth. And then they got one in the bottom of the second thanks to an RBI single to Alex Gutierrez. Winds died down here at Wasatch High School. Beautiful day. Probably the best day we've seen here at Wasatch High School of this baseball season. Another fastball. Just misses. Moves the count to 1-1.
Yeah, this is a good day for baseball out here, Tyler. Hopefully the rest of the week can follow suit, as Wasatch will have 3 out of their 4 games at home this week. And that's nice to be able to come home, play on the turf.
1-1 is swung on. It's a lazy ground ball to second base. Not in time. An infield single there for Jack Bluth. That's a good play from Coburn. Just Jack Bluth's speed not in time. And Wasatch has the leadoff guy on.
Yeah, if you're Salem, you've just got to be a little bit frustrated. The ball certainly just doesn't seem to be bouncing your way in this game. 2 infield singles now for Wasatch. Gutierrez with the line drive hit just because of defensive positioning placements with runners on. You had the inside the park home run that really was a fly ball that could have been caught. And so Salem has kind of been their own worst enemy. A couple errors to go along with it that have allowed some runs to come across. Skyhawks haven't had a very good game so far.
Kelsen Stocking is going to lay down a good bunt down the first base side. Ooh, just in time by 1 foot. He does move the runner over to second base. That's a good job from Kelsen Stocking. He saw the third baseman crashing in, went down the first base side, gave himself a chance. Good play by the pitcher. But Wasatch back to a runner in scoring position. Jack Bluth on second base with Cole Zimmerman, who already has 1 RBI today in the ballgame.
Yeah, I like this response. Wasatch just keeps punching right back at Salem Hills. Just keeping the pressure on every inning. Runners in scoring position.
Wilson delivers. Low, ball 1. Cole Zimmerman again grounded to the second baseman who booted the ball. Cole was able to beat it out, and then that scored a run. Peyton Swap came in on that one. 11 RBIs now for Cole Zimmerman on the year. Playing first base for the Wasps and hitting from the left-hand side. The 1-0. Jack Bluth goes. Throw is in time as Wasatch gets a little greedy as Jack Bluth gets thrown out at third base. I believe that was that a strike or a ball at the plate? Didn't see it. But Wasatch goes from a guy in scoring position to nobody on. Second time we've seen Wasatch try to swipe a bag with a lefty up. Just an easier throw there for the catcher. And D. Griffin Reed throws him out. Gets a called strike there. That looked to be a little bit below the knees, but he gets the called strike. Moves the count to 2-1. Pitch. Swung on, just foul down the left field side. Moves the count to 2-2. So deuces with 2 outs.
That's the MO of the Wasatch team, staying aggressive though, Tyler. They've been doing it all year. They're now 18 games into the season. Can you believe that already? 18 games in. And they just like to come at you on the base paths. Going to aggressively try to take balls when the ball is in the dirt. And they've not been shy to try to swipe third base either. And it really hasn't mattered how many outs there have been. They take it with no outs, 1 out, 2 outs. They've just been going, and applying the pressure.
Cole takes ball 3. Going to bring the payoff pitch. Swung on, fouled off, and it's going to go into the soccer field once again as we'll reset. 7th pitch of the at-bat.
Make it foul ball number 22 on the game for
22
Wasatch.
foul balls for Wasatch.
It's a lot of foul balls out of 78 pitches, fouling off 22 of them.
Zimmerman trying to get Wasatch back going. Had a runner on second that was thrown out at third. And this one's going to be low. So Cole Zimmerman will reach base for the second time today with the walk. And that'll bring up Tragan Shaw, who flew out to the left fielder to end the first inning. 375 batting average coming into today. 1 for 6 now in the series for Tragan Shaw. Hitting from the left-hand side as well. Had a good series against Provo. Cooled off a little bit in the Skyhawk series. Cole Zimmerman a good lead at first base. Pitch is up. D. Griffin's going to try a back pick on Cole. Not in time. 1-0. You mentioned, Ty, 18 games into this thing. We're now more than halfway through region play. Spanish Fork leads Region 9 with an 8-1 record. They lost one game to the Salem Hills team that we're facing today. Just got done sweeping Springville to improve to 8-1 in region play. Tragenshaw's going to swing on this one, a little bit ahead of it. It's going to be a fly ball to shallow right field, and Coburn goes back and makes the catch as Wasatch is retired. No runs on one hit, no errors. One runner is left on base. It's 5-1 here on 94.5 The Peak.
Hi, this is Nicole with Mountain Refined Furnishings and Flooring. And if you didn't know, we've recently partnered with Mattress Warehouse of Utah to bring you the largest selection of mattresses around. The team at Mountain Refined prides themselves on making your home a place where you love to be. We offer a large selection of furnishings, flooring, window treatments, gifts, decor, and so much more. If you haven't been by lately, stop and check it out. You'll be pleasantly surprised. We're located at 480 North Main Street.
Heber City Point S is locally owned and operated by Larry Rhodes and Brad Hyatt. They offer the best brand tires at low prices with extensive knowledge and experience of repair and services with no pressure sales. Only what you need. They've been taking care of cars, trucks, and trailers for over 20 years. No appointment needed, conveniently located, free shuttle service, and free Wi-Fi. Take $5 off your next visit when you tell them 94.5 The Peak sent you over. That's Heber City Point S. Wasatch High School Sports is on the radio.
Wasatch Behavioral Health was founded in 1967 to provide quality mental health care for all individuals within Utah and Wasatch counties. Wasatch Behavioral Health is a comprehensive community behavioral health center offering a wide array of programs, services, and for children, teens, and adults. Jackson Bolender still on the mound for the Wasps through 3 innings, only giving up 1 run on 3 hits. Up for the Salem Hill Skyhawks will be D. Griffin Reed, the catcher, struck out in his first at bat.
Yeah, Jackson's had a great game so far, Tyler. Into the 4th inning now. Only at 42 pitches after that one as the count runs to 1-1 after the ball. Faced 12 batters, struck out 5 out of those batters that he has faced. He's looked good for Wasatch.
1-1 pitch is going to be elevated to shallow left field. Crew Erickson was playing on the warning track. He has to run a long ways, but he does it and makes the grab in shallow left field. Great job there from Crew Erickson, and the first guy is retired here in the top half of the 4th. Going back to the Region 9 standings, Ty Wasatch in second with 6-2. Salem 4-4. Maple 4-5. So after going 0-3 to start, they've gone 3-2. They went 2-1 against Provo last week. Provo is sitting at 2-7, and then Springville is at 2-7 as well at the bottom of the standings. Nice curveball there for a strike from Jackson Bolender. Cushing, the batter, came in today hitting .433, struck out looking in his first at bat.
And poor Cushing. That's a player who's not had a good series. His batting average was over .520 when this series started, Tyler. So .433, that's an excellent batting average, but he's dropped nearly 100 points against Wasatch in this series. He has yet to get a base hit. He's walked a few times, struck out several times as well in this series, though.
Yeah, has 3 Ks on the series, 0 for 5. Couple of balls in the dirt, moves the count to 2-1. Your outfield today, Crew Erickson in left, Peyton Swap in center, and Tragan Shaw in right. Wasatch is set to begin a 3-game series against Springville tomorrow after this one. Tries to go with that backdoor curveball again. It's off the mark, moves the count to 3-1. Good pitch to hit here from Cushing, 3-1. Strike thrower on the mound. No walks today for Jackson Bolender. 3-1 pitch is a fastball, swung on and missed. That was a big swing from Cushing, and he doesn't get it, and it's going to bring up a full count.
Yeah, I think this kid's going to be a good player for him, Tyler, but we've talked about this in previous games. He's got some holes in his swing. Right now he's a pull, kind of a step-out type pull hitter, and sometimes takes too big of swings like you saw there on that 3-1 pitch. Didn't really get close to it.
Pitch is going to be fouled off. We will reset at full. Any surprises with those standings, Ty? Spanish Fork 1, Wasatch 2, Salem 3, Maple 4, Provo, and Springville tied for 5th.
Based on what I saw from Maple Mountain Tie, maybe a little bit surprised that they're
curveball's going to be swung on and smoked. Tragan Shaw's not going to get to this one. It's going to go off the base of the wall. Another double. Actually, Cushing has a chance at a triple. I'm surprised he didn't leg that one out. But another double as Salem Hills has woke up the bats. They had 2 doubles in the last inning, and now another double in this one.
Well, that ball was 1 foot from being out of here, Tyler. That hit the very top of the fence in left center. Ricocheted back hard. The outfield did a good job of backing up and getting that ball in quickly. But yeah, I agree with you. I'm surprised that Cushing, one of your faster guys, can see that thing all the way and sees it ricocheting, doesn't want to take a risk, gets third base.
It's going to bring up Coburn, who grounded out to the first baseman in his first at bat. Coburn, the winning pitcher of game 1. 2 for 9 in the series now, does have a run and an RBI in the series. I'm a little surprised Springville Ty to be at the bottom. I thought they'd be able to put together a couple more wins. They've had a tough start. They've had both Salem and Spanish Fork to start off their Region 9 play.
Doesn't that make you nervous, though, as a Wasatch fan, having them come in? They'll be to a point where either a little bit desperate or it can go another way where your seniors start to phone it in. Graduation's starting to come on and you see a bad region record or overall record, and they kind of start giving up and losing focus. We'll see what team shows up tomorrow here when the Red Devils come to town.
1-1 count. Swung on. It's going to be another fly ball really high to shallow left field. Crew Erickson coming up and will make the play. He's getting his steps in on this inning.
That was deja vu to the first out when he ran in. Same spot. It was deep in left field, having to run in, and the ball staying just inside the foul line.
Good job there from Crew. It's going to bring up now the center fielder. Did start on the mound. Now is playing center field. Miller, 2 for 7 in the series, a .324 batting average on the year. Has 3 runs scored in the series. Has an RBI opportunity with the guy on second base.
But that Maple Mountain team, back to that, they overachieved a little bit based on what we saw from them. They had some decent pitching, but it just looked really young. I'm surprised that they've rattled off 4 region wins already, Tyler. And getting those wins against Springville and Provo, because Provo was scrappy. Provo got one against Wasatch up here as well, and we just don't know much about Springville yet at this point.
First pitch is in there for a strike. Second pitch up in the zone, moves the count to 1-1. Wasatch leads 5-1 here in the top of the 4th. 2 outs in the top of the 4th, with a runner on second base after the double from Cushing. 2 pop outs to Crew Erickson in left field. Miller at the plate. The 1-1. In there for a strike, moves down to 1-2. Outfield playing deep. This is an outfield that likes to play shallow, but you see the respect that the Wasatch outfield has for Salem Hills. They're playing very, very deep today and have still gotten burned 3 times. 1-2, Bubbles comes set.
Their positioning now is you're not going to burn us anymore, though, isn't it? I mean, they are back there where a ball cannot be hit over their head.
Swung on and missed. Physical at the pit stop, your locally owned and operated physical therapy clinic, as Wasatch now Salem Hills scores no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner is left on base. It's 5-1 as we move into the bottom of the 4th.
Gucci Goo Barbecue in Heber Valley is a premier barbecue restaurant. You can choose from finger-licking ribs, poppin' andouille sausage, tasty chicken, tender brisket, delicious pork, and yummy street tacos. Friday night dates, take that significant other for the smoked prime rib that melts in your mouth. Family-friendly atmosphere where everyone is welcome, quick service for dine-in or takeout, great quality food, and great value for your money. That's Gucci Goo in Midway on Main Street.
Dan Sluga at Wasatch Flooring is extending his services to include quality paint products to complete your home remodeling needs. Locally owned and operated, Dan and his team can help you find the right flooring for your home with quality products from Mohawk, Shaw, Target, Godfrey Hirst, and many more. Since 2009, they've been exceeding their customers' needs by helping them select flooring that fits both their lifestyle and budget. They've got you covered at Wasatch Flooring and Paints.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
KTMP, Heber City, and live sports coverage with Ty and Ty.
Bottom of the 4th inning, Wasatch leading Salem Hills 5-1. That scoreboard update brought to you by Dorius Dental. Dorius Dental offers no surprises of dental treatment with doctors Dorius and Proctor. Let Dorius Dental make your mouth smile. Learn more at DoriusDental.com. Again, Wasatch leading 5-1 over Salem Hills.
Wilson's been okay as he's come in after the first inning. Miller gave up 4 in the top of the first, but Wilson's come in and slowed Wasatch down, only giving up 1 run in 2 innings. It's 5-1. Carter Bucad's going to swing at the first pitch and foul it off. Grounded out to the first baseman his first at bat. It was against Wilson. Bucad's still looking for his first hit of the series. 0 for 5. He's going to take a curveball for a strike there.
You know, Ty, you were the head man, and so you were in charge of buying a lot of the equipment, 24 foul balls on the game for Wasatch. That's where's that putting you price-wise if you're not getting those foul balls back? If you're not getting those back,
about $4 a ball. That's a good swing there from Bucad. That ball was out of the zone, low, but Bucad swings and singles over the second baseman's head to right field as Wasatch has the first guy on.
So you're pushing $100 in foul balls is what you're saying there.
So if you want to ask why you have fundraisers, baseballs alone is what you need baseballs for. Crew Erickson reached on an infield single in his first at bat and was hit by pitch in his second at bat. Scored both times he reached base. As we go to the top of the order for the Wasps. Runner on first, nobody out. Bottom of the fourth, Wasatch leads 5-1. Pickoff move, Bucad. The ball's going to get away from the first baseman. Bucad will advance to second base on the air by the pitcher. And Wasatch, just like that, has a guy in scoring position with nobody out.
This feels like a pretty pivotal inning here, Tyler. You just put up a 0 on Salem Hills. If Wasatch doesn't come put a couple more runs on the board, you may be able to kind of take the heart of Salem Hills out of this one. If Salem gets out of this quick, there will be that belief there's still a little bit of life in this one. But see if Wasatch, they're off to a good start. Runner in scoring position, nobody out. See if they can kind of take the will away from Salem Hills.
Ball's a little bit out, but is called a strike. Moves the count to 0-1. After the pickoff move that goes away from the first baseman, Bucad advances to second. He did single in his at-bat. A big lead at second base for Bucad. Gets it again. That one, I think, a little bit low. So I think the first pitch a little bit out. That one a little bit low, but both pitches go to the pitcher. 0-2 count now to Crew Erickson.
Yeah, that ball, it wasn't even received well by the catcher, Tyler. Everything about that looked like a ball over there. Catcher kind of picking that one out of the dirt, reaching across his body. I think that one we'll put in the questionable call category. In fact, I had already put it up here as a ball. I got to switch that in the book.
It's an 0-2 count with nobody out with a runner on second. Wilson gets the pitch, comes set. One look at Bucad, delivers. That one is too far outside and low, moves the count to 1-2.
Again, that's good strategy from the pitcher, though. If the umpire gives you something off the edge like that, you want to start nibbling and see how far he'll let you go. That one's beyond, obviously, what the umpire are going to let him take on the outer half.
1-2 as Crew gets back into the box. Again, has reached base twice. Curveball reaches into the dirt. Bucad thinks about it. Now he's going to have to scramble back to second base.
I felt like we had a little coach emotion coming out.
I think that was ball in the dirt. I should be going. Oh, there's nobody out. I don't want to be thrown out at third base, so I better get back to second.
Honestly, that's the right move, Tyler. Wasatch just had a couple guys thrown out on the base paths already today. And when you're playing with the lead, you can just keep the pressure on. You know, make them field balls clean. Make them make plays. Trust your 1, 2, 3 hitters coming up in the lineup here to put the pressure on with runners in scoring position.
Crew Erickson's going to foul off that close one. That was a good foul off, protect the plate pitch. That ball is probably right where those first two strikes were called. So it's going to move the count back to 2-2. Alex Gutierrez on deck for the Wasps. He as well has reached both times. He walked his first at bat and singled in his second, brought in a run. Wilson sets. The 2-2. Curveball swung on. It's going to be a pop-up here into the infield. Wilson's going to call it, and that's going to be the first out of the inning.
Well, Tyler, a little history here. I want to get into the history. Wasatch, over the course of this season, they had a really tough beginning to the year that we've talked about. It started 1-7. 5 out of those 7 losses were in the last inning where they lost by 1 run, walk-off versions most of the time. And they were reeling a little bit, but now they've won 8 out of their last 10 games. If they can get this one here, they'll push their record above 500, which is quite the feat when you were sitting at 1-7 in the season and being able to get to above 500 still with 2 series left. That just tells you how much of a role this Wasatch baseball team has been on. They've gotten hot, and they could put the state into a really strange situation come RPI state tournament time. They could be a region winner that's floating around 10 or 11 in the RPI standings. And how would you like to be a top 5 team that has to face a region 9 winner in your first series of the state tournament? And that's potentially what could happen here because of that slow preseason start.
1 ball and then a fouled off pitch moves count to 1-1. Again, 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. Wasatch leads 5-1. After 4 runs in the first, 1 run in the second, no runs in the third. Chet Wilson on deck. Bucad led off the inning with a single and then advanced on an error by the pitcher. The 1-1 pitch gets the fastball in there for a strike. It's going to be a pickoff all the way back to second base. Bucad is able to get back in time. Moves the count to 1-2. Again, Alex Gutierrez had a 2-strike single in his last at bat that brought in Crew Erickson for Wasatch's 5th run. It's been good with 2 strikes. Wilson, 2 strikeouts on the day on the mound for the Skyhawks. The 1-2. Curveball, it's going to be fouled off to the first base side. We'll reset at 1-2. Wasatch has a 3-game series with Springville the rest of the week, and then they end region play against Spanish Fork, who's currently in first place in region. Number 3 in the RPI are the Dons. 1-2 pitch is going to be a slow ground ball. Cushing comes across the diamond, throws it high, but he's able to get the foot down as Alex Gutierrez is thrown out. And that's going to bring 2 outs for the Wasps and bring up Chet Wilson, who had an in-the-park 3 RBI home run in his first at-bat, struck out swinging in his second at-bat. See if Chet can get a hold of one here. Wilson just doing a good job mixing up the pitches. Doesn't have an overpowering fastball, but's been landing the curveball for a strike, so he's making Wasatch think about 2 pitches. Bucad still on the pond.
He's got just enough on the fastball, Tyler, to keep you off balance if you're a Wasatch hitter.
Chet's going to take a ball off the edge. I think the catcher's surprised because that was a strike to Crew Erickson. Moves count to 1-0. Chet hitting from the left-hand side.
Salem playing Chet a little bit pull side heavy, which is not bad. Chet's actually got a lot of power to the opposite field gap.
He's going to swing at this one. It's going to be a shallow fly ball in foul territory, but the left fielder has a chance, and he's going to let it fall right on the warning track. So Chet's going to get a second chance here with a 1-1 count.
Well, that's one of the best part of Chet Wilson's swings is he's got a good inside-out ability, Tyler, and he can drive the ball to the other way, the other side gap, that left center gap here as he's a left-handed hitter. And so I always kind of start, as a coach, I would get excited when I would see the players on the opposing team just kind of traditionally play him as a pull side hitter. He can cover all parts of the field, but I feel like he's best when he's hitting that left center gap.
1-1 count, runner on second base, 2 outs. Wilson delivers. It's a curveball, gets the outside corner for strike 2. 1-2, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. Wasatch trying to add on to their 5-1 lead. Payton Swap on deck. Also struck out his last at bat. Back-to-back strikeouts with the guy in scoring position the last time these two came up. The 1-2. Fastball too far low and outside. Moves the count to deuces, 2-2. Wasatch wearing their all-black uniforms today. Wilson comes set. Delivers. Too far outside, moves the count to full.
That puts Wilson over the 60-pitch mark on the game, Tyler. He's done good in relief. Wasatch Chase Miller after just 1 inning. Starting pitcher. Salem made a quick change, decisive. You talked about how they've got 4 games in a row this week. Play Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Coach Haney decided to make that move early on. Try to preserve Miller for a little bit later on in the week.
Wasatch has games Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off, Thursday, Friday. 3 of the 4 games are at home. The payoff pitch. Curveball too far outside. That's ball 4. So Wasatch will have runners on first and second for the senior. Payton Swap.
That feels like a big moment too, Tyler, because now you give Payton a chance to come up, and there's nowhere to put him. You got runners in scoring position already, and so you can't really pitch around Payton as easily as you could otherwise. Payton's 3rd time here seeing Wilson. See if he can find a way to find a gap and maybe score a run or 2.
2 for 6 in the series with a home run and 3 RBIs. Has a walk and a strikeout in the games today. Runners on first and second, 2 outs. Ball in play, runners will have a good jump now as well. 2 looks, first pitch delivered, swung on, big swing from Payton. Timing off though as he misses and fouls it back into the catcher's glove. We'll reset at 0-1. Chet on first, Bucad at second. One strike. Curve ball, low. Moves the count to 1-1. Playing Payton straight up in the outfield. Not playing too deep, out or infield as well. Playing straight up with third baseman and first baseman playing back. It's going to bring our first trip to the mound.
Mound visit brought to you by Mirror Lake Station, voted best donuts in Utah. The Mirror Lake Station is your stop for gas, groceries, goodies, and more. Legendary owners Dave and Kristen Wade invite you to swing on by and say hello this season at Mirror Lake Station. Coach Jacobson taking an opportunity to come talk with Payton as well there, Tyler. I'm curious this conversation here. Coach Jacobson, a lot of baseball knowledge and experience. For those that don't know, Coach Jacobson, he's a Dallas, Texas native. You know, he says his curse in life is to be a Texas Rangers fan from down there, Ty. But then, they're going to make a change here.
I wonder if Payton tweaked his back tie on that swing. He's had back issues in the past.
Well, it looked stiff, didn't it, when he kind of swung through? He didn't finish the same way he usually does. I didn't want to mention anything about it, but it didn't look quite right and quite normal. So Sorensen's going to come pinch hit. But to finish that thought, Coach Jacobson ended up playing at Flower Mound High School in Texas. They went down and played a couple years at BYU under Coach Littlewood. So got a lot of baseball knowledge and experience from Coach Jacobson.
Jackson Sorensen comes into pinch hit with a 1-1 count. Runners on first and second. Sorensen, a bit of a slide recently. Has 4 straight strikeouts on the year, though. Hitting still .375 with 7 RBIs. Pitched in game 1 of this series. Had 1 at bat in game 2. First and second, 2 outs again in the bottom of the 4th. Payton Swab just got subbed out, I think, because of a back injury. Currently 1-1. And Sorensen's just going to take a curveball off the shin.
Come off the bench, take one to the leg, and get yourself a free bag. That's a good way to do it.
It's going to bring up Jack Bluth. He singled on an infield single in his last at bat, struck out in his first at bat. 12 RBIs on the year, and he's got the bases loaded with the chance to extend this 4-run lead.
Yeah, Jack coming into this series, Tyler, he's been one of the best hitters throughout the state for most of the season, but has cooled off a little bit lately. 1 home run came against Maple Mountain earlier this year. And he kind of had a streak there between that Maple Mountain series, Westlake, and Cottonwood, that 5-game stretch where Wasatch really got on a roll. That he was the leader in the box for Wasatch. Couldn't seem like he could get any pitch by Jack.
Takes ball 1 here. Sorensen at first, Wilson at second, Bucad at third. Wilson comes set, the 1-0. Swung on, fouled off to the soccer field, moves count to 1-1.
Keep our eye over there on Payton Swab, though, Ty. See if he comes back out next inning. Those back injuries, those can nag at you, and that could be a big one for Wasatch. He's been at the heart of the lineup. Obviously, big-time hitter leading the state of 5A in home runs right now with 6 on the year. That would be a big hole in their lineup if he's injured for an extended period of time.
Ball does get by the catcher, but it hits the umpire and will stay. It keeps Bucad at third base, so that moves the count to 2-1. Looked like that stung the umpire a little bit, Ty. He's walking that one off.
Yeah, they got a lot of gear to protect him, but not on the inside part of the foot, and I think that's where it got him, Ty.
Moves the count to 2-1 for Jack with an RBI opportunity here with the bases loaded with 2 outs.
Well, nowhere to put him. Let's see how brave this pitcher is. Come back with a fastball, or this would be the place to throw a breaking pitch if you're going to do it.
Another ball in the dirt that bounces away from the catcher, but not far enough as all the runners will return and moves the count to 3-1.
That pitch isn't even close enough to be enticing either, Tyler. He's missing in front of the plate on that ball, bouncing with the fastball. And so out of the hand, with the curveball, that might be a little different if it's hitting in front of the plate because it's going to bite hard late and may look like it may come across the bottom of the zone. That fastball, from the moment it's released from the hand, the hitter knows, I don't need to chase after this. This one's not even making it to home plate.
The 3-1 is in there for a strike on the inside corner. Moves the count to full, so all base runners should be going now with the bases loaded. Full count, 2 outs. Wilson comes set. Gap shot has potential to score 3 here. Base hit will for sure score 2. Wilson comes set. The payoff. Swung on right back to the pitcher. Pitcher fields it, throws it to first, and Salem gets out of the inning. No runs on 1 hit. No errors for Salem Hills, and Wasatch leaves the bases loaded as we go into the top of the fifth. 5-1 here on 94.5 The Peak.
Wasatch Back Grill and Deli is a family-owned and operated business serving great food and customer service in Heber City and Midway for over 7 years. For a burger with kick, try the Firehouse. Have a hankering for some seafood? Try fish and chips. Or try the Mandarin chicken salad. Their homemade recipes, freshly grilled burgers and sandwiches are complemented with unique sauces and homemade sides. They provide the best experience and highest quality food. Stop by today and try their great menu items. As a thank you to teachers, first responders, medical personnel, and military, get 15% off meals all year round.
Hi, this is Abby Covarrubias, the Wasatch High School Student Body President. Did you know that parents are the number one reason kids don't drink? Believe it or not, teens still listen to their parents. In fact, kids usually listen to their parents more than anyone else, including their friends. Utah kids report the number one reason they choose not to drink is their parents' strong disapproval. All kids need a parent's help to stay drug and alcohol free. Brought to you by Wasatch Behavioral Health and the Parent Bonding Project.
Napa know-how.
Your local Napa Auto Parts, Wasatch Auto Parts at 105 North Main Street in Heber City stocks auto parts, tools and equipment, and many other items for heavy-duty trucks, marine, and farming equipment. Stop in today at Wasatch Auto Parts, 105 North Main Street in Heber City, a proud sponsor of Wasatch Wasps Sports.
Napa know-how. 5, 4, 3, 2.
KTMP, Heber City, and live sports coverage with Ty and Ty.
Fifth inning action brought to you by Guild Mortgage. Stop on in to Tom Stone and his team at Guild Mortgage for all your mortgage needs. He'll have the right product for your situation. Stop on in to Tom Stone at Guild Mortgage. 0-2 count here to the left fielder, Hickman. Struck out looking in his first at bat and down 0-2 in the second. Fastball just a little outside, moves the count to 1-2. Hickman's been good in the series, 2 for 7, but does have 4 RBIs and a triple. The 1-2. Curveball, ground ball to Chet. Chet backhands it, throws it across the diamond. It's going to skip, but Jackson Sorensen with the great pick. And Wasatch has the first guy out in the inning. Sorensen moves to first base after the swap injury, it looked like. Crew Erickson's going to play center. Tragan Shaw playing in left, and Cole Zimmerman goes out to right.
How about that? Jackson Sorensen coming in and immediate impact. He finds his way on base. He got hit by a pitch coming in for swap tie, and that's a tough play. That was an in-betweener hop. Wilson made such a good backhanded play. Kind of got his nose right down in that ball. It was a tough backhand. Made a great play, and then just kind of short-armed it on the way over there. And Sorensen held in there, picked it up nicely, and then quickly fired it over the shortstop to sell it to the umpire that he did handle it and that they needed to call him out.
Nelson's going to swing and miss the first pitch. Swings and pops up. Chet Wilson takes charge in the infield and makes the grab as Wasatch has the first 2 guys retired. But now we go to the top of the order. And if you go back to the third inning, Ty, Wasatch got the first 2 guys out, but then back-to-back doubles by Vance and Richards gave Salem Hills their first run and only run of the game, and that's who's up at the play right now. Vance, who doubled to the right center field gap.
Well, and it broke a streak. Jackson Bolender had gone 20 straight innings without giving up a run before that third inning. And, one good streak deserves another, Tyler. It's time for him to start another one here. He's put up 1 scoreless, and see if he can get a second one here now.
Nice curveball right there in there for a strike. Moves the count to 0-2. So 0-2 with 2 outs. That's called strike. Brings a comment from Coach Haney over at third base. 0-2. Fastball. It's going to be a ground ball to Bluth. Bluth fields it clean, throws it to Sorensen at first, and Wasatch retires the side. Brought to you by Wasatch Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. No runs on no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. Wasatch leads 5-1 as we go into the bottom of the 5th.
Yeah, Ty, and that brings up our Guild Mortgage 5th inning stretch and gives us a chance to get our listeners caught up to speed on how we got to this point. 5-1 is the score in this ball game. And I want to go over a Gordon Law Group stat recap to get you caught up on that. Wasatch came out, and in the first inning, they had ace Jackson Bolender going on the mound, and he was good, Tyler. He struck out the side in the top of the first inning, ended up giving up a single, but ended up striking out 3. I need this before you can take this, Tyler. I got to go through the plays here. He's trying to snatch my book over here with the pitching change. I'm going to have to hold him off over here for a second.
He's trying to help.
Bolender was good. He had 3 strikeouts. And then in the bottom of the first inning, Wasatch ended up getting 4 runs. And they did it in a unique way. Crew Erickson started off the game getting an infield single to the shortstop. That was actually his third straight at bat dating back to the last game where he got an infield single. After that, Alex Gutierrez had a wonderful at bat, 8+ pitches, ended up walking, and then Chet Wilson hit a fly ball to left center that the center fielder, misplayed, came in and ran over it, got all the way to the fence. Chet Wilson got a 3-run inside the park home run on that. Swap then walked on the next one, and he was eventually driven in after Stocking singled, and then Zimmerman hit a line drive that an error was made. Wasatch took a 4-0 lead there in the first inning. The second inning, Wasatch was able to push one more across on the base hit from Alex Gutierrez, among a few other little walks and things that happened there. Salem responded, though, in the top of the third with back-to-back doubles to score a run. That got their only run on the board. And from that point forward, it's turned into a pitching duel. 5-1 is the score. No team has scored a run since that point, and we now enter the bottom of the 5th inning.
Yeah, leading off the bottom of the 5th is going to be Kelsen Stocking. He's had a good day at the plate. Singled in his first at bat, and then had a nice sacrifice bunt in his second at bat. Comes in hitting .276 on the year, 1 for 3 in this series. See if he can get the first guy on. New pitcher here for Salem Hills is number 19. Go to my roster. Number 19 is Brown. 3 1/3 inning pitched, 8.4 ERA on the year. He'll go 1-1 to Stocking. Off-speed pitch, too low, moves up the count to 2-1. So 3 innings pitched for Wilson. Only gave up 1 run in those 3 innings. Brown, a tall, high leg kick type of guy on the mound.
Yeah, probably the word is unorthodox, right, on his delivery. Probably gets outs by distracting the hitters with just a little bit of a different motion here. Doesn't have overpowering stuff.
3-1, and he's going to walk the leadoff guy, so Kelsen Stocking earns his second time on base with the walk. And it's going to bring up Cole Zimmerman. Had an RBI in his first at bat and walked in his second at bat. Speed up guy will be Cray McPhee. Like this move here from Coach Jacobson. Cray McPhee, a very smart player. Not fantastic speed, but just a really good baseball player and a good mind for the game.
Yeah, and coming off his best game of the season as well, catching game 2 for Casey Anderson. He caught a great game. Was really effective at the plate, although the stats won't tell you he had a lot of base hits, Tyler. He put up some really good at-bats. And he seems to be hitting a good peak of the high school season right now for Craig McPhee.
Cole Zimmerman's going to go ahead and swing away. He's going to foul it off to the soccer field side. Very rare not to see something happening with a guy on first with nobody out. Coach Jacobson gives the sign. 1 strike, nobody out, runner on first. Craig McPhee, a good lead over at first. Takes another half a step. Brown comes set. Cole will square now. And he'll lay down the bunt down the first base side. It's a good one. It's a good one, and it's not going to be in time. An infield single for Cole Zimmerman on a beautiful drag bunt that stopped on the foul line on the first base side, and Wasatch has their first 2 guys on here in the bottom of the 5th.
Yeah, that looked like Brown just didn't remember he was supposed to go field that ball, did it? He kind of stared at it for a minute expecting someone else to come get it. First base had to stay home on that one. Third was crashing. That's the pitcher's ball all the way. And good job from Coach Jacobson and Zimmerman to take advantage of a new pitcher who wasn't quite ready to field his position.
Yeah, I don't know if you do it. You might want to do it again, Ty. Just there's some confusion. You got runners on first and second now with nobody out. Do it again. Tragenshaw is going to do it again, and he tries to go line drive over the third baseman's head, and doesn't get over there, and it's going to be foul.
Best contact of the game, wasn't it, on that bunt? He stabbed at it, and that's the sin of bunting, right? You don't want to stab at it. Just got to turn that bat and escort that ball down the line. And he knew it. He kind of slammed his bat into the ground afterwards, feeling frustrated that he didn't execute.
0-1 the count now. Still runners on first and second, nobody out. Tragan squares again. This time he does get it down, tries to push it to the third baseman. Oh, they're going to go to second. Gets the runner at second. Nice play there from the third baseman. You don't see that too often where they try to go for the middle runner, but he does so there. That almost had enough on it, Ty, to sweep by the third baseman for another hit. Does the job as the runner goes to third base, so you have 1 out with the runner on third for Carter Bucad, who singled in his last at bat.
Yeah, and I'd like to know whether that was intentional from Tragan, Tyler, because that's a good play there from him. Third base man is crashing, shortstop is wheeling over to third base, and you get a by there, that's a hit automatically. Pitcher wasn't coming off to field anything again.
Bucad, a little blooper, and it's in there for a base knock. Second single of the day for Carter Bucad's going to bring in the 6th run of the game for the Wasps. So the bunt by Tragan Shaw results in a run, and Wasatch takes the lead 6-1 here in the bottom of the 5th.
Well, it's time for another hot streak from Carter Bucad, isn't it? It looks like. Kind of has had an up-down season. Again, started the year with only 1 hit in his first 7 games, and went really hot and ended up hitting over 600 over the first series, plus a couple games when Wasatch got into region play. Then he cooled off. Now a couple more hits to go here, and it looks like Carter's finding his swing.
Yeah, kind of muscled that one over the shortstop. Brings runners first and second for the leadoff guy, Crew Erickson. He'll take a strike. He's mad at himself. He thought he should have swung at that one. Shaw, good speed at second. Bucad, good speed at first with 1 out. And 1 strike here to Erickson. Taking a long time to get the pitch out, and now he steps off the back of the mound.
Well, Ty, you push across a couple runs here, get a couple more hits, and you can start getting greedy, right? Where you could say, well, let's not let Salem Hills go back out to play anymore. It's the 5th inning. You can't activate the mercy rule into the 5th inning here. I mean, still a long way to go, but that'll help right there.
Nice piece of hitting. This one's to the right center field gap. Right fielder's able to cut it off. Crew Erickson's going to try to leg out a double. He does so. It brings in a run. Bucad will advance to third. So a 1-out double brings in another run, and Wasatch now leads 7-1 on a good piece of hitting there from Crew Erickson.
Yeah, that's just simple baseball, isn't it? Crew didn't try to do too much, just saw where the pitch was, threw his hands out of the outer half pitch, made good contact, line drive over the second baseman's head. And that ball was close to getting by the right fielder, Tyler. He made a good run at it and came across and cut that ball off. If that ball gets by, Crew's easily going in to third base on that one.
So now we have second and third, 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. Crew Erickson, great speed at second. Carter Bucad, good speed at third. Alex Gutierrez up. He ground out to the third baseman's last at bat. Has an RBI single in the ball game. 2 for 5 now in the series for Gutierrez. Also has 3 runs scored. He's going to swing the first pitch and foul it off to the soccer field
Ty,
side.
that's his 10th foul ball of the game. I've been counting for Alex. 10 of them, and they have all gone over to the soccer field side. I'm telling you, he would, if this were Major League ballpark, kids go to the games to get foul balls. So Alex would be sending home.
Well, not only that, you'd have a mad rush over to that side of the field, too, when Gutierrez went up. Infield does come in as well, so the infield's cut off here with 1 out. And now 2 strikes as he'll foul it off to that side again. If you're at the A's, Ty, you'd have a great chance of going home with a foul ball.
Oh, you'd have
only 3,000 people going
point.
to those. You could easily go over there. RPI standings right now are a little bit skewed as they gave Wasatch 2 wins last week against Salem Hills. So right now, if this were to stand, you'd probably see Wasatch move up to number 13 and Salem Hills drop down to number 11.
It really gives you a good idea of where you're going to be, right? It would be the sneak peek. Right now, Salem is 10-8 on the year.
And our number, and probably would have been number 9, right, in the RPI if they would have been right.
But on the current RPIs, they already had a game in for a loss, and the amount of score doesn't matter in the RPI. So you're right, Todd. I think Wasatch would be firmly at 13, and Salem somewhere in that 11 range.
Brown comes set. Again, runners on second and third. The 0-2 swung on. This one's elevated to center field. Bucad's going to tag up. Miller's going to try to throw him out. This throw is, though, way off as the first baseman cuts it off. Another run comes in. RBI. Sac Fly for Alex Gutierrez as Wasatch playing pretty baseball. I just want to go through this inning, Ty. We start off the inning with a walk on a good at-bat from Kelsen Stocking. Then you have a single on a drag bunt from Cole Zimmerman. Tragan Shaw then pushes the runners over to third. Then you have a single to the opposite side, a double to the opposite side, and now a sac fly to the outfield. Just good baseball right now for the Wasps as they lead 8-1. He's going to bring up Chet Wilson. He's got a home run, a strikeout, and a walk in the game today, and he's got a runner on third for another RBI opportunity with 2 outs. Jackson Sorensen on deck. Chet's going to swing at one. This one's elevated to right center field. Going back, and good play there from the center fielder as the center fielder goes back and makes the catch. A little bit too high, but Wasatch is able to score 3 runs on 3 hits. No errors from Salem Hills. Wasatch does leave 1 runner on base as they take the 8-1 lead here on 94.5 The Peak.
Hi, friend. Are you ready for your next delicious meal? Come to the Dairy King, home of the train, where they're serving the yummiest food to friends and family in the valley. Come in and get a mouth-watering peach shake, peach cobbler shake, or peach raspberry shake. Dairy King, the winner of the Best Estate for 18 years. They're celebrating their 75th anniversary. Bring a picture and a memory of being at Dairy King. Proudly serving the Heber Valley for 75 years. The Dairy King, home of the train, is serving deliciousness daily. Stop in today.
Timberline Ace Hardware is your full-line Benjamin Moore paint store. Visit them for your home projects, business-to-business, and contractor needs. And remember to ask about their delivery services. And they're looking for some cashiers. Apply today. And get your Carhartt wear, your cool outdoor clothing, and Wrangler jeans. Timberline Ace Hardware, located west of the Wasatch Wasps football stadium at 737 South Main Street, serving the Heber Valley for over 50 years.
This is live coverage of Wasatch High School sports on 94.5 The Peak.
Wasatch Back Grill and Deli is for family-owned and operated that has been serving the Heber Valley great food and customer service for the past 7 years. Stop on in to Wasatch Back Grill and Deli. Jackson Bolender still on the mound. 5 innings pitched on the day. Has given up 4 hits and 1 run. No walks today as he goes up 1-0-1 to Richards. Richards did double to the left center field gap his last at-bat and singled up the middle in his first at-bat, so 2 for 2 on the day. 4 for 6 in the series. Have himself a good series and make that now 3 for 3 on the day as he gets a curveball and he laces that thing to center field. Good piece of hitting once again there from Richards.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of guys have this much success on Jackson Bolender, but Richards does seem to have his number.
Wasatch 6 outs away from winning their 3rd straight series. Swept Maple 3-0, won the series against Provo 2-1, and now are 1-1 against Salem Hills in this series. Leadoff guy gets on for the first time today for Salem Hills. Big swing and a miss from the number 3 hitter, Fenn. Has a strikeout and a ground out to the shortstop. Came into today 4 for 6 in the series, now 4 for 8 after going 0 for 2 today.
Fenn's got to make an adjustment if he wants to have contact. He's been behind that fastball all game long. He keeps going up there like he's looking for a breaking pitch. Tyler, and he keeps not getting them, and Bolender keeps putting it right by. Good job for Jackson to keep at him with that pitch.
Misses outside on that one, moves the count to 1-1. See what Salem Hills can do with the leadoff guy on. Fastball, ooh, Stocking thought that was a strike. I think that's been called a strike a couple times today. Umpire doesn't want to call it this time. 2-1 now the count.
That puts Bolender up to 70 pitches, Ty.
Moves count to 3-1.
And that matters because this game was supposed to happen last Friday, if you remember. And that would have allowed Bolender full 7 days rest to come back and pitch next Friday or Thursday against Springville. But now after this one, he's if you go over 85, you've got to have 3 days rest. And you should have 3 days rest plus at least if you go over 85 pitches, Tyler. But that would put him back on Friday at the earliest. And if he goes too much farther than that, you're not sure you want to bring him back on Friday as well.
Gage Sheesh is getting loose over in the bullpen. Ty, he closed out that game on Thursday. A walk, that's the first walk of the game for Bolender. Moves the runners on first and second with nobody out. Wasatch leads 8-1 here in the top of the 6th inning. Nice curveball there, swing and a miss to D. Griffin Reed, who has a strikeout and a double over the right fielder. Strikeout and flew out to the left fielder.
Boy, the Salem team does not get cheated when they swing the bat, though, do they? They take big hacks up there in the box. That's why they put so many balls out near the fence.
Another curveball in there with a swing and a miss. So back-to-back curveballs. So after a walk, Bubbles comes back with some curveballs and goes ahead 0-2 here to D. Griffin Reed. Bolender sets. Again, runners on first and second. Your infield now, Sorensen playing first base after Swap goes out with an apparent back injury. Tries to go fastball outside, misses, moves the count to 1-2. Going back to my thought, Ty, about the A's, so 3,000 fans was all they polled. I believe it was like a Friday or Saturday game as well. And their AAA affiliate the same day had 6,000 fans show up.
Well, it's always been a struggle in Oakland to get fans. And you're a proponent, Tyler, for having teams like that go play in their AAA parks. Try to bring fans from the AAA area as well.
Curveball is going to be a foul ball right on our heads. And we'll reset at 1-2. Yeah, so I'm going to maybe try to start something where I think coming off of a strike, it would go a long ways for the fan base to go play one series at your AAA affiliate. So the Angels would come and play a game here against somebody, and then they would go and play at a AAA affiliate of somebody
else. Wouldn't you love that as a person living in Utah? If the Angels came and played, and you got to see Ohtani and Trout. And if you do that, though, Rendon. Tyler, you've got to make sure you're getting your stars in. You know, those games, you got to play the stars in that and let those.
This isn't the NBA. I mean.
Yeah, it's optional to play in the NBA. That was a big game for the Jazz tonight, Game 5.
2-2 pitch is going to be a ground ball to the right side. Chet Wilson's going to come across the diamond. He only has a play at first. Does get the out at first base. Chet's played a great third base today. That's his 4th put out of the day. Runners do advance, though, to second and third. So with 1 out, runners on second and third. Cushing will come up, who doubled over the right fielder's head in his last at bat.
Yeah, put it off the top of the fence on that double, Tyler. You're right, though, coming back to Chet Wilson, it's been a quiet, very important part of this game, hasn't it? How well he's played over there at third base. And really, that's been the trend over the last couple weeks. He's played a good defensive third base, throwing the ball confidently from third over to first, trusting his arm. He's getting his nose down into the fielding position, and he's just done a good job overall. He's kept several runs off the board himself by playing a clean third base today.
Ball 1 to Cushing. Hitting from the left-hand side, roped a ball over to Cole's head, or to his Tragan Shaw at the time. Nice curveball there for a strike from Bolender. So Smith Ballpark has the capacity of 15,000. For sure, you're going to get 15,000, right, if you have a Major League team come to Salt Lake for a one-game series.
Yeah, you plan it during the right time. You should. There's a lot of people in Utah that would love to go to those games, I think. In fact, I'm not so sure Utah couldn't really support an MLB team. I think there's enough people around Utah that enjoy baseball that if you had a team here, they could certainly put up the numbers that Oakland is putting up.
1-2 after fastball on the outside corner. Bolender sets the 1-2, swung on, it's laced again. Cole Zimmerman was playing back, but he has to go back even further. Makes the catch at the warning track. This is going to be deep enough for 1 run to come in. Good play by Cole Zimmerman, as Wasatch learned from the last time. But that's another really good barrel from Cushing that brings in another run.
That ball's tattooed, Tyler, but that's good coaching from Wasatch. They saw this Salem Hills team is hitting deep balls into the outfield, and they're daring them to single them to death. They don't think they can get a bunch of singles against Jackson Bolender. So when you've got this pitcher on the mound, you've changed the defensive style now to adjust to what you're seeing the other team do. And that takes, 1 more hit is needed now to get what would have been 2 runs across the board if you weren't playing that deep defensive strategy.
It's going to bring up Coburn, who grounded out of the first baseman and popped up to the left fielder in his last at bat. He'll take an off-speed pitch off the edge of the plate for ball 1. Again, Gage Sheese getting ready to go in the bullpen. Another pitch about the same spot. Kelsen Stocking doing a good job of keeping that ball in front of him. Moves the count to 2-0. It's going to bring a trip to the mound from Coach JW. A trip to the mound brought to you by Mirror Lake Station. Best donuts in Utah. The Mirror Lake Station is your stop for gas, groceries, and goodies. Owners David and Kristen Wade invite you to stop on by and say hello this season at Mirror Lake Station.
Well, it's pitch number 84 now for Jackson. So you're into decision time. You've got enough time. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday off, and he can pitch on Friday and come back. But again, you have to worry a little bit about just the health of your team. Your team really has it rolling. Like I said, they've won 8 out of their last 10 games, hopefully on their way to their 9th win here out of their last 11. And you want to keep your ace healthy here, Ty. And so you've got to mix this. What's the right move to bring back your pitcher, or do you let him rest and give some of your other guys a chance to come out and earn some important innings here for the pitching staff as well?
So Coach Fredericks, Tyler, just showed me that, I'm not even sure when that was, but the Rockies and Mariners held an exhibition here in Salt Lake and pulled 15,000 on an exhibition. Wasn't even a regular game. And so definitely could see the excitement there. It's going to be a ground ball to the Bucad. Bucad scoops it up, throws it across the diamond to Sorensen, and Wasatch gets out of the inning on the 85th pitch of Jackson Bolender.
That's such a good play because that ball was hidden behind the umpire. That ball got hit right where the field umpire was standing, and Carter Bucad, that had to be blind for a moment on him. and he just kind of trusted himself, got over there. The umpire jumped over the ball as it was coming to him, and Carter just kind of let it come to him like an elevator door opening up and fielded it and threw it over. That was a big moment there for Carter to hang in there. He's playing a better defensive position than you'd think a shortstop would be playing for Wasatch. Good end to the 6th inning there from Carter.
Yeah, no runs on one run on one hit. One runner is left on base. No errors for the Wasps in the inning. It's 8-2 as we go into the bottom of the 6th.
The 50s produced some great sound. That early rock and roll triggered so much emotion for so many. Here's another sound from that era. The dental drill triggers a whole different set of emotions. The sounds, the smells, feeling out of control, whatever keeps you from the dentist at Dorius Dental, we get it. We focus on the little things. Distract yourself with your favorite episode of The Office, or crank up the 80s or 90s and let it take you back to another time. At Dorius Dental, we are sensitive to your needs. We are taking care of the little things so you can move on to more enjoyable things. Located in Gateway Plaza, Heber City.
This is live coverage of Wasatch High School sports on 94.5 The Peak.
Bottom of the 6th inning here at Wasatch High School, where Wasatch leads Salem Hills 8-2. 6th inning action is brought to you by Mirror Lake Station. Mirror Lake Station voted best donuts in Utah. Owners Dave and Kristen Wade invite you to swing on by and say hello this season. Mirror Lake Station up in Camas.
New pitcher on the mound. This will be the 4th pitcher of the game for the Skyhawks. It'll be Baum, a senior. 2 1/3 inning pitched on the year. 9 walks in that 2 1/3 inning pitched, and a 27 ERA.
9 walks. That's not ideal in 2 1/3 innings.
Ideally for the Wasps, they score 4 here, right? And you don't have to put out a pitcher in the 7th inning. Preserve
exactly.
Bolender's arm a little bit. See what Wasatch decides to do, if they trot Bolender out there, if they decide to go Gage Sheesh.
Well, at this point, he's now over 85 pitches. So, this is so easy to do from the booth. We're not coaching and having to make these decisions. But I probably do run Bolender back out there for 2 reasons, Ty. He's your ace, but then at the same time, you keep Gage totally fresh. If you need him to go 75 plus tomorrow, he can go a little bit deeper. If you throw Gage, even if he threw just 1 pitch today, that limits, it takes away 35 potential pitches the next day from him. And so that's probably what I would do at this point, being greedy and thinking so much. And you and I have said often, you just can't assume wins in baseball. This one, Wasatch has a good lead, 8-2, but you can't assume that this one's over. Salem is going to come at you. They can hit 1 through 9, as we've seen, and you can't just go assume a win either.
Jackson Sorensen at the plate. 1-2 now the count after he fouls that one hard down the right side. The 1-2 pitch is delivered, and it's low for ball 2.
Go a long way, though, if you can tack on just another run or 2, Tyler, in this, because it does give you some flexibility on pitchers where you can maybe run out some guys that aren't as traditional in your pitching rotation, see if they can get a few outs.
That pitch way outside, but Jackson Sorensen's going to try to protect, misses it, and that's going to be a strikeout to start off the inning. He's going to bring up Jack Bluth, a strikeout in his first at-bat, singled in the second at-bat, and then grounded out to the pitcher in his third at-bat. Try to get things going here in the bottom of the 6th with Wasatch up 8-2. Talked about a couple of these balls almost leaving the park today. A couple of hit the fence. If you're at a different park, they probably go out. I think that's something that's interesting about baseball, because baseball is so big on their stats, right? Like, the steroid people aren't going to get in because their stats are diluted, but it's a sport where if you play at a certain ballpark, you're going to have different stats, right? And you go back to the great Yankee teams. This ball is going to be smoked to left center field. Good swing there from Jack Bluth. He's going to round first, and he's going to take second base, and that is a great job from Jack Bluth. Looked like a routine single, and Jack Bluth, legs it out, and Wasatch has a duck on the pond now in the the bottom of the 6th with Kelsen Stocking, who's got a good bat coming up to the plate.
Yeah, that's Jack thinking double all the way out of the box, Tyler, and taking advantage on just a little bit casual nature from Salem Hills getting it in. And Jack swipes an extra bag.
So anyway, going back to my thought, you have all these parks that are different sizes, right? You have lefties that can hit pop-ups out at Yankee Stadium because it's only, 290 down the line. And it's just funny to me that baseball has, why not make every park the exact same? You don't have basketball courts that are the same or different sizes.
That's a good point. I wonder how that would change things. And you go back to some of these early numbers, like Babe Ruth. Some of those parks those guys played in were enormous as well,
sure.
Tyler. So some of these early guys and the stats they put up are pretty remarkable. In fact, Babe Ruth, when you think about it, like Babe Ruth, that was a short, overweight. He's drinking whiskey between games, smoking cigars. Like, what is Babe Ruth like in today's modern era with the medical advancements we have, Tyler? Ball in the dirt, Jack's going to take third base on that. You know, does Ruth become that much of a better player, or did he thrive in his conditions because he's playing against everyone else who's drinking whiskey between games as well?
You bet.
I'd like to think he'd be pretty good because he's hitting home runs over the fence in those conditions as well.
So let me ask you this, Ty. Which sport would be the easiest to do that sort of thing, like a home field advantage? Like I'm thinking like wrestling, right? Like you can decide how big the circle is that you have to wrestle, so you go to one school and one circle.
It's got to be basketball. Can you move the three-point line from,
well, but
4 feet away?
So
if you're the Jazz,
I don't think you can do that.
Golden
because
State moves it back where Steph Curry can.
This pitch is swung on. It's going to push the center fielder back. It's deep enough. That's a good job from Kelsen Stocking. Jack Bluth will come in on the sacrifice fly as Wasatch takes a 9-2 lead as they get the run back that they gave up in the top of the 6th. Good job there from Kelsen Stocking. He's had a good day at the plate, Ty.
He's had a great day at the plate. I think Kelsen Stocking has responded and come back and been excellent, Tyler. The day off was good for him. Had a nice base hit in his first at-bat, a walk in the next at-bat, and that's a team at-bat again. Didn't try to do too much, just put it out there where he could push the run across the board.
9-2 now the lead for the Wasps. Going to bring up Cole Zimmerman, who will take ball 1. So, I don't think it's a matter of changing the three-point line because the infields are all the same, right? Every infield's the same, so you have to keep some the same. But imagine making it
you've
deeper.
You've got your paint and your free throw line and all that. That's the same.
Sure.
Why not change around the three-point line?
Yeah, maybe. But maybe, I'm thinking if you make the court wider, can you imagine the Warriors with all their three-point shooting if they had even more
space? A little more space.
Right, if you're somebody else who doesn't shoot threes, just shrink the court. Cole Zimmerman's going to ground out to the shortstop. So Wasatch scores 1 run on 1 hit. Nobody is left on base in the bottom of the 6th. Wasatch leads 9-2 here on 94.5 The Peak.
You might be used to having someone ask you the question, what is it that you need? I think that's limiting. I'm going to take you through a 6-step process, and it's simply answering questions. And it might not just be home. It might be that you want that fancy new car. It might be that you want trips. It's your list. What is it that you really, really want?
Call Tom Stone at Guild Mortgage in Heber City.
Tom Stone, NMLS 257849. Guild Mortgage Company is an equal housing lender. NMLS 3274. All loans are subject to underwriter approval. Terms and conditions may apply. Subject to change without notice.
Hi, this is Nicole with Mountain Refined Furnishings and Flooring. And if you didn't know, we've recently partnered with Mattress Warehouse of Utah to bring you the largest selection of mattresses around. The team at Mountain Refined prides themselves on making your home a place where you love to be. We offer a large selection of furnishings, flooring, window treatments, gifts, decor, and so much more. If you haven't been by lately, stop and check it out. You'll be pleasantly surprised. We're located at 480 North Main Street.
This is live coverage of Wasatch High School sports on 94.5 The Peak.
Top of the 7th inning at Wasatch High School. Time for a Dorius Dental scoreboard update. Dorius Dental offers no surprises of dental treatment with doctors Dorius and Proctor. Let Dorius Dental make your mouth smile. For more information, visit DoriusDental.com. Wasatch leading Salem Hills 9-2. And Ty, you also talked about the 7th inning is usually when you start getting hungry. And not a bad time to start thinking about Gucci Goo Barbecue. And some of these other great places that you can have. But the barbecue especially has been on my mind. Jazz game. You've got maybe a chance to watch the Jazz take a series lead here this evening after seeing Wasatch get a win here today. Why don't you put a little barbecue there with it to go along with
that's a great option. Wasatch 3 outs away. It is Jackson Bolender who will stay on the mound here as he's going to get the first pitch swinging to Miller, who's going to foul it off. A couple of defensive substitutions. Cray McPhee comes in at catcher for the Wasps. At first base will be Cole Zimmerman, and Tad Sulzer will go in at right field for the Wasps. So Tad Sulzer and Cray McPhee coming in. Nice pitch out on the outside part. Hits the spot, but it's a little bit low. Moves count to 1-1. Wasatch leads 9-2. 3 outs away from winning the series against Salem Hills. 2-1. It's going to be a ground ball to the shortstop. Bucad comes across the diamond, throws it to Zimmerman. Zimmerman steps on the bag, and Wasatch has the first guy out here in the top of the 7th.
Boy, that left side's been good today for Wasatch, haven't they? Wilson and Bucad have played a great game over there at third base and shortstop.
Well, how about this, Ty? Again, and I'm not trying to do broadcaster jinx. We do have a pinch hitter who's coming into the plate, number 27, Warner. Warner had a rough day at the plate in game 2 of the series, had a couple of strikeouts. He's going to pinch hit for Hickman.
I think this is Argyle coming up here, Tyler. At least that's what I've got it in my book. Oh, we've got conflict here. The book says Argyle. Your papers say Warner.
Warner's going to swing at the first pitch. He's behind the fastball to Jack Bluth. Bluth throws it to Zimmerman, and Wasatch is 1 out away. So assuming nothing terrible happens here with a 7-run lead and down to 1 out, Wasatch would have been 10-run by Salem Hills down in St. George and in game 1 of this series. And this will be number 12, Argyle.
Oh man, Tyler, we're
according
we're a mess over here now.
Sorry, but Wasatch.
We got Argyle as 23 over here in the book. I'm gonna get to the bottom of this here. Either way, Wasatch 1 out away from getting the victory.
Yeah, and he gets a strike here on Argyle. Argyle on the year, 188 batting average. He goes down 0-2 though, as that fastball is down in the zone, but gets the called strike. Moves the count to 0-2. So Wasatch loses game 1 against Salem down in St. George, loses the second game. Well, that's a good at-bat for Argyle as he looks at 3 straight strikes. And that'll do it as Jackson Bolender strikes out the last batter as Wasatch wins 9-2. They get 10-run twice to Salem Hills in this season. And then they bounce back and win 4-2 in game 2 of this series on Thursday. And then they come and get a big 9-2 victory here today. Wasatch wins 9-2. We'll have your Ace Timberline Hardware post-game show after this.
Heber City Point S is locally owned and operated by Larry Rhodes and Brad Hyatt. They offer the best brand tires at low prices with extensive knowledge and experience of repair and services with no pressure sales. Only what you need. They've been taking care of cars, trucks, and trailers for over 20 years. No appointment needed, conveniently located, free shuttle service, and free Wi-Fi. Take $5 off your next visit when you tell them 94.5 The Peak sent you over. That's Heber City Point S.
Gucci Goo Barbecue in Heber Valley is a premier barbecue restaurant. You can choose from finger-licking ribs, poppin' andouille sausage, tasty chicken, tender brisket, delicious pork, and yummy street tacos. Friday night dates, take that significant other for the smoked prime rib that melts in your mouth. Family-friendly atmosphere where everyone is welcome, quick service for dine-in or takeout, great quality food, and great value for your money. That's Gucci Goo in Midway on Main Street.
Dan Sluga at Wasatch Flooring is extending his services to include quality paint products to complete your home remodeling needs. Locally owned and operated, Dan and his team can help you find the right flooring for your home with quality products from Mohawk, Shaw, Target, Godfrey Hirst, and many more. Since 2009, they've been exceeding their customers' needs by helping them select flooring that fits both their lifestyle and budget. They've got you covered at Wasatch Flooring and Paints.
Wasatch Back Grill and Deli is a family-owned and operated business serving great food and customer service in Heber City and Midway for over 7 years. For a burger with kick, try the Firehouse. Have a hankering for some seafood? Try fish and chips. Or try the Mandarin chicken salad. Their homemade recipes